buy a beer in the neighborhood. Call Joe Murray.
I happen to trust Joe Murray.
First time I ever met Joe Murray was...
Welcome in 98.5 The Sports Hub. I'm Joe Murray. Got ourselves a full show tonight to react to Super Bowl 60. The Patriots lose to the Seattle Seahawks, who are your Super Bowl champions. They defeated the Pats yesterday 29-13. Drake Maye sacked 6 times. An NFL record 21 in the postseason. The Seahawks were the better team. We'll get into that coming up in just a minute here. A lot to get into tonight, though. We'll certainly react to the Patriots' loss, Drake Maye and his injury. That was no one said was an injury and then was an injury. The Seattle defense did some things the Patriots did not prepare for. And who won the coaching matchup? A lot to get into when it comes to Super Bowl 60. We'll have all the fallout here at 617-779-0985. We will have to start to turn the page a little bit as the Red Sox made a trade today to impact their roster. We'll tell you who that is. And some news regarding the Celtics and Jason Tatum coming out within the last hour or so. We will get you updated on that. You can find us on YouTube tonight. We're here all night long. We have I think we have 3 full shows this week. So you want to react to last night's game, this is the place to do so. I know Skaz hasn't had a chance yet to let loose on the game. We'll certainly do that throughout the show. Opening take, of course, is presented by Super Service. Today, when your heat or hot water goes out, waiting isn't an option. Super Service today's warehouse in Danvers. It's overstocked with water heaters, furnaces, boilers, and heat pumps, and they offer same-day replacement, whatever it takes, day or night, and always done right. Contact Super Service today at superservicetoday.com. So the Patriots were outclassed in Super Bowl 60. And I thought they had a chance based off the coaching edge. I thought they had it. I thought Josh McDaniels coaching in his 10th Super Bowl would have an advantage over a Kubiak offense. I thought that Mike Vrabel playing in Super Bowls and winning Coach of the Year would be the matchup to be better than Michael McDonald, and it was not. I thought a lot of things. Like as far as defensive goes, I know that theirs was highly touted. I thought the Patriots were very good over the last few playoff games. I thought the fact that the Patriots have beaten multiple different opponents different ways could help them benefit taking advantage of that Seattle team that only saw the 49ers and the Rams in a 6-week stretch. And I was wrong. The Seahawks were the better team. Flat out were the better team, and they looked it all night long. And the things that I went into the season questioning, it was as if everything started over when the big lights were down on the Patriots. We talked about their offensive line and how it could still be a problem. That's why they drafted Will Campbell 4th overall, right? That's why they brought in Jared Wilson. They drafted him and Garrett Bradbury and Morgan Moses. How'd that line look last night? You wondered about Drake Maye. Is he a guy who can turn the ball over? Can he do more, with his legs this year? Well, his 3 turnovers led to 17 points. Josh McDaniels, is it going to work out in this system? Clearly, all year long, these things worked, but in the biggest game of them all, they did not. And it's really what let them down in this game. But Vrabel and McDaniels being outcoached was one thing that truly stood out to me. And, I was reading from the Boston Herald, the Patriots admitted that Seattle's defense surprised them. And they used a little bit of a wrinkle. They found ways to attack Drake Maye when there was no protection in the backfield. On 3rd and 1, multiple times, the Patriots had no protector back there. I mean, how many times did Devin Witherspoon, twice, by the way, off the side, no protection, right in, sacks the quarterback. Right? They moved Nick Emmanwori to the nickel position, and he's been known as a blitzer. Well, they used him more as a cover guy in this game, and that threw the Patriots off. So right then and there, the little wrinkles that Seattle had were the difference. But what was the philosophy for the Patriots on offense in this game? What was their philosophy? Because, I don't know, the last few games, what I saw was them using the fullback and going jumbo at Mumford as the unbalanced tackle or tight end. That's what I saw. Yesterday, the fullback played 5 times. And listen, I know in the long run, if you want to look at it and say, hey, Seattle was just better, tip your cap, I'll do that. But what changed? What made them go away from using the fullback to try to run the football or going jumbo like they did or use a tush push in certain situations? What changed in 2 weeks? What did Seattle do that was so special that you had to change your offense? And I don't have the answer to that. Like when I looked at the offensive snap numbers, I couldn't believe that Westover only had 5. Munford had 1. And in the biggest play of the game when you needed it, you're throwing to Kyle Williams, a rookie, down the sideline. I thought there were so many things that Mike Vrabel did wrong in this game. He didn't have a review on Cooper Kupp at one point. I think they should have went for 2 on their first touchdown. And then when they went for 2, they probably should have went for 1. What about Travion Henderson as a kick returner? Instead, you had Dearness Johnson out there all night long. These are just the little things that were not typical Patriots football. I'll tip my cap to Seattle. They were a better team and they outcoached. But what was actually the philosophy to beat Seattle yesterday? Because I didn't see anything drawn up that was different. I didn't see any motion. I didn't see desperation or aggressiveness. The Patriots looked young and unprepared. Drake Maye ends the season hurt. And last night was a recipe for disaster. The bad line was detrimental. It impacted Drake Maye's performance along with his injured shoulder. Going forward, the Patriots need to protect Drake Maye. They couldn't function. They were completely outclassed. In the end, talent mattered. They did lose to a better team. It wasn't about the easiest schedule ever, or Drake Maye having one of the worst receiving teams, or one of the worst postseasons of all time statistically. I should mention that he had the most passing yards ever in a Super Bowl quarter, with 250. In the end, the Patriots tried. They didn't have enough. The talent and the defense was better. It was better than the scheme that they've been running for weeks. The scheme that they went away from on Super Bowl Sunday. The biggest takeaway about Super Bowl 60? The number one priority for the Patriots going forward should be protecting Drake Maye. Even if it's from himself. But nobody can survive 5 or more sacks in a game in a playoff series and put a great performance out like everyone expected. I think he was hurt. I think they knew it. And they saw themselves getting dominated and had nothing to overcome it. But the number one priority, the biggest takeaway from this game, should be protecting Drake Maye. And I say that even from himself, because he couldn't run. He was in his head. He was sped up. He could have made throws and he didn't. And on the biggest game of the year, they had their worst performance. It's upsetting. And it's another one that got away. They now have the most losses for a team in Super Bowl history. 6 for the New England Patriots. They've won a lot. They've certainly let a few go, and last night was absolutely one of them. We'll leave it there at 617-779-0985. You can join us on YouTube as well. Just go to youtube.com, search 98.5 The Sports Hub, and boom, we'll see you right in there. I did want to get into Drake Maye's shoulder, what he said after the game, and those first 7 plays or 7 drives for the Patriots. How'd those go? We'll get into all that and more coming up next. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray. field. Here comes Julian Love across the 50, near side 45, outside the 40, tackled along the near sideline by Travion Henderson, and forced out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Your reactions to Super Bowl 60 and the Patriots loss last night, 617-779-0985. I already went into my excuse making when it came to who were you to blame. I guess in general, I always thought that Josh McDaniels was the fall guy all year. You know, they lose to Buffalo. They give up 5 straight touchdowns on defense, but yet after the game, Mike Vrabel blames who? Josh McDaniels. I just don't understand what the philosophy was or the scheme. Were you trying to run the ball on them? Were you trying to throw the ball, crossing routes? Were you trying to throw past the safeties? What exactly was the game plan that you prepared 2 weeks for? Was it check down Charlie? Like, think about this. If the shoulder injury was nothing, why were the first 2 completions check downs in the flat? Because he didn't want to be check down Charlie, remember? He's no check down Charlie. That's exactly what they completed. Then every time they ran the ball, which again was on first down, they'd run it right up the middle. Not to the outside, not a counter, not a pitch, none of that. Just right up the middle for no gain. I just don't understand the philosophy. And, you know, if he is injured, which it looks like he was, hurt, injured, whatever, did it limit them on what they could do in the passing game? And I'm just bringing up having a fullback could have helped them. Going jumbo could have helped them, especially in those 3rd and short situations or a 4th and 1 when Mike Vrabel decides to punt. You've pushed in that spot. You've gone jumbo. You didn't. I don't understand why they went away from it. I'm critical of that. What got them there, they went away from. But one of the quotes after the game by Nwosu said the game plan was to get at Drake Maye and disrupt him. We knew he's their whole team. We knew if we affected him, the whole game plan would be nothing, and that was absolutely what happened last night. On the Patriots' 5 first half drives, they started with a handoff 4 times. It averaged 4.25 yards per run. The one time that they passed the ball there in those drives, they got 21 yards. Listen to this when it comes to the Patriots' drives. First drive, they made it to the Seattle 44 punt. New England 42 punt. New England 37 punt. Their own 33 punt. Backed up to their 12 punt, and then the end of half. Then out of halftime, punt, fumble. Then they get the touchdown. And what happened with Seattle, their next drive, they milked 6 seconds off the clock. 6. They punted back, and then Drake Maye throws the interception. Then in the other interception, then the touchdown, and then, of course, the end of game. On the final play, I don't understand why Travion Henderson didn't go out of bounds to have one more play to try to get the backdoor cover on that one, but whatever. That was on the tees, of course. But horrendous. What was the game plan? What was the philosophy? Overall, Drake Maye's numbers in the playoffs, he went 70 for 120, 828 yards, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and had 7 fumbles. 7. His passer rating was 82. He was sacked 21 times for 133 yards. Had one of the lowest EPAs, which if you care for that stuff, Drake Maye finished the playoffs with a minus 41 pass EPA. It was the worst pass EPA in the next-gen stats era. I don't really care about next-gen stats, but other guys who did bad, C.J. Stroud and Aaron Rodgers. Those were the other 2 worst this year. I just don't understand what the philosophy was, and I do think that the shoulder injury did impact the game, whether it was in his head. He said he took the shot and his arm was numb. Did it wear off late in the game? Did it affect him early on? The shoulder should have been more of a storyline. We all dismissed it. The reporting in this town said that there was nothing to see here. I was wrong.
Not a big to-do? Is that what we were told?
That's what we were told, Skez. And even after the game, I tried to dig on that, and people still said nothing. They said that he was fine. Did he look fine to you, James Scaramazino?
I would say no. He looked far from fine. He looked mentally and physically stunted in that game. He was shook, was the word I've seen thrown around quite a bit. I think that's an apt description of how he looked. He was seeing ghosts. Sam Arnold,
he was
very familiar
ghosts.
with that. But yeah, I mean, I thought Drake Maye was bad. I thought Josh McDaniels might have been worse.
What was the philosophy in your opinion? Like, after watching the game, what do you think was
I think
their
Josh
game
McDaniels
plan?
thought they were still in Denver and it was a blizzard outside, the way they were running the offense. And look, Josh McDaniels, coordinator of the year, but the guy's been in 10 Super Bowls, right? That's all we heard all week. 10 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowls, 10 Super Bowls. Going back to Tom Brady, the Patriots have scored how many points in the first quarter, Joe? Are you aware of this stat?
Yes, in Super Bowls.
In their last
0.
10 Super Bowls, the Patriots have scored 3 points.
Oh, 3 altogether.
In the first quarter.
No touchdowns.
So even with Tom Brady in 2 weeks to prepare, Josh McDaniels can't get you anything early in the biggest games of the year. That's a problem.
No, I'm not saying fire Josh McDaniels. I'm not saying any of that.
I'm saying maybe help him out. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what you do with Josh McDaniels because he had a good year, but I thought his game plan absolutely sucked yesterday. When they're down and every single drop back pass is a 5-yard drop and everybody's 15 yards down the field. They had nobody short at all. Drake Maye didn't use his legs at all. We didn't see the tight ends get involved. No Travion Henderson screens or outside runs. They did like 1 or 2 of them and they kind of worked, and then they completely abandoned the run game. So I would have Drake Maye and Josh McDaniels right at the top of the list, and obviously Will Campbell too. But
oh yeah, we'll get
you can scheme around some of that stuff, and they didn't.
I thought that they could win off of scheme, and I think in the Super Bowl, if you don't have talent, you can't win in the scheme. Especially and then the lights were bright for Drake Maye. They were bright for everybody, and it showed. And I think I'm leaning on what I've seen over the last few weeks, like the way that they ran the ball more and got Ramondre Stevenson more involved, and it opened up the passing game, whether it's deep plays to Kayshon Boutte or crosses to Stephon Diggs. But like Hunter Henry completely disappeared. He completely disappeared. On one of the plays, Drake Maye blew it throwing to Austin Hooper, which would have been a big play. It's just I don't understand what they were trying to do. If you just kept things the same, the offense the same, like you were running each and every week, that was criticized, by the way, because their numbers were down. Well, you didn't throw anything past the safeties. Everything was short. Everything. Can we hear Drake Maye after the game? I was doing post-game last night with Mark Dundero. I tried not to make the shoulder the first thing. I wanted to credit Seattle. I thought they had a good game plan. I thought they demolished the Patriots' offensive line and won their line of scrimmage game. And I thought that they outcoached Mike Vrabel and Josh McDaniels. So that was my opening take. But it's hard for me to sit here and say that I didn't think the shoulder impacted Drake Maye's performance, but let's listen to Drake Maye after the game last night.
Yeah, my shoulder feels, I shot it up, so not much feeling. It was good to go and felt all right.
He shot it up. Couldn't feel it. So, I don't know. Do you shoot up your shoulder or arm if it's not injured or hurt?
I don't shoot up anything, Joe.
Well, remember we were talking about things that were shot up last week in certain places?
No, thank you.
This thing's been going on for a while. I actually, and I know Mike Reese has been all over this because he kind of mentioned it after the Denver game, but has he had a cortisone shot before another game this year? I think I would just like to know that. So I've called everybody to see if they could come on the show today. Everyone's flying back. Every single person I contacted today. Sorry, Joe, flying back. Nobody wants to talk to me today.
Travel day.
No, but I want answers. I want answers on the shoulder. I have a Rolodex of people I have contacted today to call into the show to give me answers, damn it. And everybody's traveling. Was that the first time he's had a cortisone shot before a game? I don't know. But the way that they played in the first half, he was horrendous. They were horrendous. I was here last night watching the game. I went to the couch over here and said, wake me up when something happens. It was that bad. I know they were outcoached. I know they were outplayed. I know they were out-schemed. But for that type of performance from Drake Maye, it was in his head. It was in his head. His ability was shaken from what was going on with him, I think, when it came to the injury. And I understand it's hard when you have guys literally running at you the second you snap the ball. And I know it's hard for Josh McDaniels to call plays when they're just in the backfield every play. I get it. But I need answers. Because Drake Maye sucked. The MVP runner-up of the league, he sucked in the biggest game of the year. He played his worst game ever in his biggest game ever. And I can't sit there and say it was about his ability. Because all I can think of, he was injured. I know there's a difference between being hurt and injured. And I'm sure he would have done whatever he could to be out on the football field. But it cost the team bad. It cost the team potentially the Super Bowl. The shoulder had to be worse than everybody thought. I know he wasn't good all playoffs long. You could have blamed the defenses he's gone up against. You could have blamed the damn weather if you wanted to. But nobody said it could have been the shoulder. And last night, it absolutely was. There was no weather. Yes, they went against a great defense. He was absolutely hampered physically and I think mentally last night. Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. I will say this. He was accountable after the game. Mike Vrabel was accountable after the game. But you know who wasn't? I'll tell you on the other side after the headline. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines. Presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
All right, Patriots losers, Super Bowl 60. Kenneth Walker.
15 down. He's chased by Morgan Moses, who won't catch it. It's a scoop and score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Reviewing this one, right? Arms coming forward here, no?
For Drake Maye, the fumble I didn't like. He should have held on to that ball. But Drake Maye, the first player to be sacked 5 times or more in 4 straight playoff games. That's not good. And next-gen stats, everybody. What'd you think of the left side of that offensive line yesterday? Next-gen stats attributed 14 QB pressures allowed to Will Campbell in Super Bowl 60. The most pressures allowed by any player in a game this season, including the playoffs. He was overmatched, and for the first time, I actually saw the short arms impact him. Lawrence was great on the outside on him, using his extension. There were times where he was using his technique, Will Campbell, and his strength, and was still getting pushed back. And I think it was the short arms. I really do. It wasn't a good day. It was his worst performance. PFF had pass blocking grades from last night. Believe it or not, Jared Wilson scored the highest, so take that for what it's worth. The lowest pass blocking grade last night, Will Campbell, 32.9. Woof. Garrett Bradbury, 44, and Wenu, 65. Run blocking grades? On Wenu was the best. The worst was Jared Wilson at 33%. You had your left tackle with the worst pass blocking grade and your left guard with the worst run blocking grade. And what did Josh McDaniels keep doing? Run it to the left, to the left. Everything he does is running to the left. Blah, 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 blah. Keep running left. Why? I got the Beyonce song stuck in my head. And then you know what they did out of the halves, guys? They ran right, until that got stopped. It was annoying. I don't know what their philosophy was. But after the game, Big Will Campbell, who's got a lot to say, right? He's got a lot to say. He's got stuff to say about his arms. He said that he would die for Drake Maye. He said he would die for him. 9 of the 19 pressures allowed by the Patriots were giving up by the left side of the line, including 3 sacks and an interception. It's the same side where the Patriots started rookies Will Campbell and Jared Wilson. They were the first team ever to start multiple rookies on their left side of the line in the Super Bowl, and it cost them big time. But after the game, where was Will Campbell? Nowhere to be found. Will Campbell, the same guy that said, people make a big deal when you give up a sack and think you should go work for Amazon. Nowhere to be seen in the locker room. Not cool. Not cool. Well, I've talked enough. Anything else you want to add, Skaz, before we go to the calls? Because there's a lot to blame. It wasn't one play that dictated the game. Seattle won fair, and they blew them out. They looked like the Patriots looked like they didn't belong. But when it came to Will Campbell, I saw the limitations that he had.
Let the people get it off their chest, Joe.
All right, let's do it. 617-779-0985. Mike in Foxborough. Mike.
Joe, I have to agree with Skaz. I really believe that was their philosophy, was Denver all over again. And I know this wasn't the score, but if you told Vrabel he'd be down 6-0 going into halftime, I think he would have gladly taken that. I don't think they believed that. I think they thought Donald was like Stroud and Stidham. They had no respect for him. They almost got to Donald in the beginning, and who knows if they had done that, could have been a whole different game. But the reason why they were so conservative on offense, I think, is, I don't know, maybe Campbell and Wilson and Drake Maye are all banged up, and maybe they're injured. Maybe that's why they were so bad. But I really thought that Vrabel thought that the defense could win it for them, and that he just needed the offense to not make any mistakes, which they didn't do in the first half. But then, Seattle got the field goal to make it 9-0, and then they got the touchdown. And then that's when Josh tried to change the game plan on the fly. It was just all very conservative. And
Mike, I would push back and tell you that's exactly what Seattle did. Huh. Right? Didn't Seattle play conservative? Didn't they settle for field goals? Didn't they just go for 3? Didn't they just let their defense do whatever they wanted? Isn't how they won? Let the other quarterback screw it up? That's exactly what the Patriots did. Or it's exactly what Seattle did to the Patriots. Tom's in Waltham. Tom.
Hey, Joe, what's up?
Yo.
So I don't want to get another show in trouble, but I called like 3 months ago, and I spoke to Barth and asked him if he thought that the team looked at Will Campbell as the future left tackle. And he said, yes. Your opinion, do you think that the team is looking at him now and thinking they should move on from him as left tackle, or give him one more year to try to develop?
I think they need a strong... If they're going to keep him at left tackle, they need a really strong, nasty guard there.
I agree. I think they should kick him in the guard and try to trade for a tackle. My opinion, I think he might be better inside. It's just like he can't get outside and block people. He gets pushed back too much.
He might be, Tom. I don't know if they're ready to do that, but let's just hypothetically say they move Jared Wilson to center. You need a nasty guard. Like a Joe Tooney type. You need a guy like that. But it costs money for tackles. It's high draft picks for tackles. Can they afford to give up the 31st pick for a tackle this year? I mean, is that guy going to start right away? Is that going to be a difference maker? I don't think so. I think what they should do is keep him at left tackle, but find someone at guard that can really help out. But man, his arms are short. Let's see what else we have here. Mike is in Wilmington. Mike.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, this is obviously a hard pill to swallow. I mean, but what I want to talk about is I haven't seen a game in a long time where everybody's on the same page. Like, everybody I'm hearing on TV, you guys, friends, family, it's like the same thing. The shoulder, Will Campbell sucks, Drake May's young. Why did they give it a friggin' Travion Henderson at 2-1 instead of Stevenson? Why didn't they kick 2 points? I mean, why did they not go for 2-point conversion? I mean, this is more me just venting, but
this is talk radio. This is talk radio, though. This is what we do. This is what you do. It's what you do with your buddies, right? What do you want? What do you want me to do? You want me to talk about Jason Tatum coming back and playing in Maine? What do you want me to do? The Red Sox make a move. What do you want? What do you want to do? What'd you eat for dinner? What'd you eat during the Super Bowl?
What I'm saying is, a lot of it has to be coaching, because if we're all realizing the same problems, then they should have. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, they didn't. This is why I'm asking what was their philosophy. That's why I started the show saying, what was their philosophy?
You asking me?
Yes.
What was their philosophy?
I mean, you have all these problems with all these things that we're saying, and you have an opinion yourself. It had to go
out the window, man. Whatever it was, it went out the window.
Yeah, you don't have an opinion. You hate everybody else's, but you don't have one.
Joey agreed with everything you said.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
I didn't take it that way.
No, you certainly didn't.
Well, I'm not going to apologize, because I'm not sorry. Wait, he said all these people are saying this stuff.
Yes.
But why can't we? This is what we do.
No, he was saying everyone's in agreement, so doesn't that mean it's on the coaching?
I think it's talent.
Drake May not talented enough.
No, I think their line wasn't talented enough. I think their receivers didn't get off the line well. I mean, weren't these the things we were worried about at the beginning of the year, Skaz? Their line, their wide receiving group. I don't know. Are we really going to go through another season wondering about their offensive line?
As of right now, yes.
Yes! That sucks! The number one priority should be protecting Drake Maye. Protect him. So, yeah, maybe they do need... What was that guy trying to tell me again? Maybe I wasn't listening. I don't know. Maybe you heard it and I didn't guess. I thought he was bothered by what we were saying.
I think you were bothered by him.
I know. I think I was too. Anyways, all right. Let's go to break. I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here. Oh, Hooch wanted me to ask you about your pigs in a blanket.
Tremendous. I must eat at least 20 of them yesterday. That was the only highlight of the day.
Street Team Joe just texted me. What a disaster of a day.
Tatum's coming back, Street Team Joe. It's okay.
Oh, that's what it is about, huh?
Silver lining, you know?
Oh, because he called him a liar.
Bad couple weeks.
Dawson laughed first back there.
Yeah, bad couple weeks.
So the Patriots lost the Super Bowl, and Jason Tatum's coming back. Everyone's upset about that, huh? Okay. Well, we'll have more next here on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5.
Yeah, so I haven't heard anybody touch on this, but I was expecting them in the second half to go back like they did last time they played Seattle and just go short games. The running backs, in the passing game, get Travion Henderson involved, get Ramondre Stevenson involved, and they just didn't do that. Is that something that you wasn't available, or you just didn't see them doing?
I thought they did that. No?
I don't think they really got them involved in the passing game much.
They threw a couple to Ramondre short. Well, I guess the Travion Henderson was the last play of the game. Yeah, I wish.
Yeah, I wish you think of the second half against Seattle, the first time it was Shane Vereen. Mm-hmm. They had all the pressure in the first half. Brady couldn't do anything. In the second half, they went that short passing game. Obviously, Julian Edelman was involved. They could have got Stephon Diggs a little bit more involved, I feel like. But
that Drake May is not a check down Charlie, right?
Well, if you need to do check down to win the game, you should check down to win the game, no?
Yeah, I didn't say it. Drake May said it. Do they have a guy they can do that with, Skaz? It should be Travion, right?
I think Pop's been that guy at times.
Okay, how'd that work? Yes.
He was the only guy catching passes last night.
That's true. What did he finish with?
He didn't have a great game, but he was the only guy that felt like caught anything.
What happened to Hunter Henry, dude? I think they might have to look in a different direction there. Yeah,
they need a young tight end. Their tight end room is old. Solid, but old.
Would I rather Hunter Henry or who's the stiff that's been with the Falcons, Kyle Pitts?
Yeah, give me Hunter Henry.
Me too. That's who's a free agent.
No, you just draft one. Third, fourth round, take a tight end.
Demario Douglas, 5 catches, 45 yards. 7 targets. Huh. Maybe they need to go back to a short game. Justin and Lynn. Justin.
Hey, Joe. I have a reaction to the Caleb Durbin trade today. I know you didn't get into it yet, but I like him as the third baseman for this team, and I think he's a good bat to the middle of the lineup, Joe. And that's something we definitely needed. And finally, the Red Sox made a move that I think we're all going to like.
All right, Justin. Yeah, we'll get into some Red Sox stuff later as they made a move today. Yep, they waited until after the Super Bowl to make their big moves, guys. Big time hitting third baseman.
It's baseball season, Joe.
Yeah, well, the
college basketball season. Arizona, Kansas tonight. Number one player in the country against the number one team in the country.
Is that?
9 o'clock, I believe.
Okay, well, set my reminder. I'm rewatching the Super Bowl right now. Drake May could not move. Wasn't good. It's on NFL Network right now. All right, we'll take a quick break. Actually, we'll hit the headline here. No commercials. Just a headline. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
From the Town Fair Tiger Studios, this is Boston's home for sports. Touchdown! The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics. WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5 The Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group Station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots losers in Super Bowl 60. Kenneth Walker named the NFL MVP. Just some news within the last hour. Jason Tatum will begin 5-on-5 workouts with the Maine Celtics. Maybe a nice little trip to Portland for the day. Oh, yeah, hit up some duck fat. Maybe some Becky's Diner, a lobster roller out there. Oh, yeah. The Red Sox acquired a third baseman today named Caleb Durbin. He was the third place runner-up for Rookie of the Year. They traded Kyle Harrison for him. And BUBC Beanpot 7:30 tonight over at TD Garden. Headlines brought to you by A Weekend 180. February's here. Don't say I tried. Say I'm doing. Change the course with A Weekend 180 weight loss. Visit aweekend180weightloss.com. I'm Joe Murray.
This is what happens when analysts take over the games, take over the sport.
This is where you talk sports.
It happens all the time.
The Sports Hub.
I see a name on our call list, so why don't we do it? Joining us right now on 98.5 The Sports Hub, former New England Patriots, Super Bowl champion Rob Ninkovich on the Joe Murray Show. Rob, how you doing?
What's up, guys? I just got off an airplane. My voice is a little bit off because I haven't slept in a bunch of days. But, I'm just listening to all the, sports talk and a lot of the fan base and the hate and some of the stuff that just bothers me. And I just want to say that I think Will Campbell is a heck of a football player. And I don't think people realize how hard that college to pro transition is with no time off. You play your senior year, you go in your pro prep stuff, you go to the combine, you do the draft stuff, you get drafted, you go to your rookie camp, you go to training camp, you play 20 games, and you deal with an injury. I think he's going to be a really, really good football player for us. Do I think that he went up against a bunch of really good football players? Yes. And am I making an excuse? No. But I think we have a lot of things to look forward to as a fan base and a lot of good stuff to look forward to in the future with Drake Maye, with the rookie class that they had this year. They hit a home run. So, yes, it was definitely a hard one to watch, but there's so many good things that I think we can all look forward to with having such a young group of guys that are going to play together for a long time.
Well, Rob, you know how it is. It's doom and gloom, right? Everybody saw it on the
100%.
They saw it on the big stage, right? And so, what do you think? Do you think they should have done something different? And my suggestion was the last few playoff games, they went with the jumbo package, right? They had Westover in there as a fullback. They brought in Mumford as an unbalanced tackle. Do you think they should have done more to maybe help that left side of the line?
Well, look, when you're going into this game, you have a couple weeks to game plan. You're trying to come up with the best attack mode on how do we get after this defense, which sometimes you got to give credit to that team. You got to give credit to the team that was really good defense, solid, hard to do a lot of things on, hard to run the ball on, hard to get any down the field shots. So that Seattle, they were the better team. They had more talent. But as far as the game plan goes, you got Drake that is dealing with an injury, but yes, he's ready to go because he's a tough kid and he's going to do what he has to do to put himself out there and help this team win. But again, the game plan when it comes to trying to attack the Seattle defense, they had some really good blitzes dialed up, and at the end of the day, they made more plays on defense. They were really good. They were ready to play. The Patriots, they just needed that experience. And I think that maybe this game and this whole playoff run gives them that bitter taste in their mouth of we need to get back to this game and we need to. And I remember that from 2011 when we lost to the Giants. That game in particular, I can remember walking off the field and saying to myself, all right, now I know what it feels like, and it sucks. So I think that Drake is going to take this, and he's saying all the right things after the game and, giving the other team credit. And, they got Vrabel in there. They got a great young group of guys. So it'll be interesting to see what they do in the off season for where do we address specific positional needs and where do they go with it.
Rob, I have a question regarding getting cortisone shots.
I used to get a bunch.
So do you get them before the game, during the game? What do you think? I know maybe you know, maybe you don't, but what do you think the process was for Drake Maye? Was this something planned? Did he do warm-ups? When do you think he got it?
Well, you get it before the game because you got to get yourself pain. What's your body telling you when you're dealing with pain? Hey, don't do that, right? So, for example, I dislocated my AC joint, and when I did that, you really can't use your arm. But when you put a cortisone shot in there, structurally, you can't damage it any more than what it already is. So you just deal with the pain. And then when you get the cortisone shot, they put it right in the spot that is not working, hurts bad. And then when it goes numb, you don't feel it. It feels funky because it's clunking around. But the worst part is the next day, I couldn't tie my shoes the next day. I couldn't even move. So, it just, I think the mental toughness and, the just with the characteristics of Drake Maye is what you need as a quarterback, and he has all those things. And it's known that when you're playing in a Super Bowl, you're going to have to deal with some injuries, and if you have an injury that isn't structural, but it's just going to be painful, you could do the cortisone just takes the edge off of it.
Do you think that he struggled because of the injury?
Well, I think it's difficult when injuries are physical, yes, but they also can affect you mentally with your confidence and, can I throw this the way that I usually throw it? Can I land on it? Like, when you're going through stuff like that, it's in your head and you're thinking about it. I think there's a couple of missed throws there that if he doesn't have that, maybe he throws the ball more accurately. But it's tough. It's really tough when it's your throwing shoulder. And I definitely saw, maybe a little less confidence in directing the ball where it was going to go.
Okay, good answer there. Rob Ninkovich calling in. You had a good time Super Bowl week, and I saw videos of you with other Hall of Famers, other former players. What'd you get into this weekend?
Yeah, so I did a lot of the media stuff, some radio stuff, met up with Chris Long and the McCourtys and Malcolm, just a bunch of old teammates and guys that Kyle Vinoy with Kyle. It was good. I mean, the Patriots do a great job with the team and the fan base, and the parties were awesome. So I'm happy to be home. I wish it wasn't 26 degrees, but that's New England for you.
Hey, just real quick, you mentioned the loss, and when you lost back in 2011. In some ways, there's no such thing as a good loss when it comes to a Super Bowl, but they've identified at least some issues going forward here. You were a great pass rusher. Do you think that's something they should improve, that they should target this offseason? And I'm just going to throw out a name, but do you think Max Crosby could be it'd probably be a fit anywhere, but do you think the Patriots would give up the assets for a guy like that?
My only concern with Max is durability. When you get to a certain point where I don't think he's finished the last few years, I would be nervous with the price point of how much am I paying and what am I giving up to get a guy that, the first 5 years were awesome, but the last 3 years have been kind of up and down with injuries. So I think it depends on what the cost is. And yes, of course, you get a talent like that, it's amazing, but you got to look at what are they going to give up to get him. And you also look at the draft. Can you go get a kid in the draft that's young, that has similar upside to him, and you don't have the investment in place for it? So, you look at some of the guys that are leaving, who's going to be here. There's going to be turnover like there is every single year. So what do they make a point of emphasis? I personally think they have to protect the most valuable asset, which is the quarterback. Because I don't care if you're Mac Jones or Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. If you don't have time and you're getting hit a lot, which, that hitting your back foot and getting smacked like that, Drake's going to have a hard time with it. And I don't care who you are. So they got to make sure that they protect him and give him time, because we all know he can make the throws. He's good. He can get out of trouble. But when you have 6 sacks and you're sacked 20 times in the playoffs, they had a ton of sacks. You can't win like that.
Did you happen to run into Tom Brady over the weekend? Everyone was upset he didn't have a dog in the fight, and then he tweeted out, "I got your back, Mr. Kraft. You can match me with 7 now." What'd you think of Brady's weekend?
Well, I think Tom's he's into everything, right? He's got his hands in everything. So maybe it was probably a political thing, but the Pats fans didn't necessarily love it. So I got a dog in the fight, so I live here. I don't want eggs in my house.
All right, Rob, I appreciate you reaching out. Thank you for joining us on Nesson a couple of weeks back. I'm here every night, man. If you're driving around just listening, you just call in, dude. We'll talk. We'll talk anytime, my man.
I'm coming out of the airport. I was like, man, I got an hour drive, so I might as well, back up the Pats and my guy Will Campbell. I love his style. I think he just, got to go through the ups and downs and take his lumps as a young player in the league. That happens to everybody.
Yeah. Do you think he stays at tackle, or do they kick him inside?
He's a tackle. He just, there's things that he's got to learn. And we don't know how his knee feels. He's coming back from a knee injury. Maybe he's dealing with something that we don't know about. And that's, one thing that the general fan has no idea what guys are trying to play through. And maybe he had a hard time dealing with power because he couldn't anchor. There's things that guys got to go through the season with, and the general fan base is just like, oh, the guy didn't play as well as we thought he was going to play, but maybe he's having something to deal with. He's dealing with an injury, but I think the future is super bright for him. And I talked about the mentality. I think he's got the perfect mentality, especially for this area.
All right, he's Rob Ninkovich, Super Bowl champion, former Patriot, living here. Don't egg his house. He likes Will Campbell.
I do like Will Campbell. He's nasty, but he'll get back. He'll be fine, and this will motivate him.
All right, Rob. Appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome anytime.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you. Rob Ninkovich, everybody, joining us here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. Guys, you just never know who's going to call in or listening. So just happens every once in a while.
You never know, Joe. They're always listening.
So I tried to get a guest tonight, so finally we got one.
Unscheduled guest.
Wasn't the way we planned it, but thank you, Rob Ninkovich. And you know what is funny? I love the one thing I will say about covering the Super Bowl the last couple of weeks, the Patriots alumni really came together.
Some.
Well,
some.
Besides Brady? I mean, who, like, Asante Samuel was getting mixed up, right? Like, from Rob Ninkovich to Vince Wilfork to Teddy Bruschi, right?
No, only Brady and Belichick, the two biggest guys in franchise history, were the ones turning their back on you this weekend.
Literally.
So yeah, no, things are going well.
Did you see Jordan's shirt?
Oh yeah, I'm sure that was that's really professional. That's what you want.
So we did a big.
That's an adult.
We did a big preview show on Nesson on Sunday, and I asked the question: who do you think Bill Belichick is rooting for in the Super Bowl? Who do you think? Who do you think he was rooting for?
Mike McDonald.
I keep forgetting we're not in love anymore. I can't believe they lost to a running back, Skess.
The Patriots have lost Super Bowls to Nick Foles, Eli Manning, Sam Darnold, and Kenneth Walker.
Woof.
Stuff.
Well, they've won some good ones, too.
6-6, 500 record.
I say, Cy Young won the most games, and Brett Favre had 1 point, most interceptions, most touchdowns, right, at some point?
I would prefer my football team not be compared to Brett Favre. That's just me, though.
Well, shout out to the Patriots alumni and Rob Ninkovich getting off a plane and says he loves Will Campbell. And he's a tackle. So we'll leave it there. We'll take more of your calls. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub, I'm Joe Murray. We're here all night long. You never know who might call in. We got in or out, end of the hour. And more of your calls. And if you're on YouTube, I see you guys in there. Carrie Ann in Seattle. She thinks the Seahawks were beatable. People love that Rob Ninkovich called in. So thank you, Rob. Joe, you get great interviews. Thank you, sir. Joe, why did you yell at that guy? He was trying to say that everyone knew the same thing. How come the coaches didn't know? I did not get that, unfortunately. I don't know. Me and that guy, we didn't really connect on that one.
Oil and water, that call.
Yeah, because you were like, Joey agrees with you. And I was like, how come I didn't get that? People still want to tell me that. Like, what was that call, like a half hour ago? People still want to try to tell me, hey, Joe, he was trying to agree with you.
Maybe 45 minutes ago, yeah.
I apologize, but I'm not sorry. All right, let's take more of your calls here. We got Dave in Woburn. Dave.
Hey, Joe, how are you?
How are you?
So, if you look back, and I just rewatched it again, on the first drive, Seattle's first drive, the third play, third down, Donald threw it to Cooper Kupp, right? And he was clearly one foot in bounds.
Yep.
Right? And Vrabel never threw the challenge flag, and they even said it. They're like, no challenge. I mean, and then there was on another play, when Diggs got pushed out of bounds,
yeah,
right?
That one was unacceptable.
That should have been a 15-yard automatic first down, and that would have put them in a good position. I mean, in the end, yeah, maybe they did get blown out, but they were right there the whole time. I think they played Seattle better than anybody else would have played them.
Dave, the thing that's upsetting is they could have hung around, and Darnold was keeping him around early on. Like he was gonna. Yeah. They were hoping that Darnold was gonna give him one, and he didn't. But yes, to your point, if they went 7 straight drives without points, and it was still a 12-0 game. Like they were still in it. But to your point, though, the Cooper Kupp one, it was so early in the game, but I do think it was the difference of 3 points. So I think you can be critical about it. The other one I'd be critical about is on a 4th and 1, they punted, but the guy was offsides. I would have tried to review that because you would have got the ball back. Plus, it would have given your defense more time to rest.
Yeah. So, my older brother, he's out in Iowa, and he won't watch professional. He'll watch the Super Bowl, but he won't watch the professional.
He's a Hawkeye?
He's a Hawkeye. Oh, yeah. He's
big boys out there.
He did 21 years in the Air Force.
Wow.
And then he did 25 years with the University of Iowa. They're a big Hawkeyes fan, and
we salute him, Dave. Kirk Ferentz, right? Big time guy out there. Was formerly, I think it was at UNH for a period of time. We got Mike in Hull. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Joe, Skaz. How we doing, gents?
What's going on?
What's
going on in Nantasket these days?
Oh, well, the wind's always blowing down here, gents, But I was at the game yesterday, and it was my first Super Bowl personally. I had a fabulous time, but I will say this. Seattle has a hell of a fan base compared to ours. And I can't say enough about that fan base. They travel well. I know it's on the West Coast. I know it's close for them, but they have chants, right? They have their little 12th fan thing. They are a fan base that is not comparable to the Patriots. I will say that. They are enthused. They are engaged. And I was embarrassed just standing in the comparison of how we reacted to the way they reacted. Third down, they're up there. It was loud there for them. It really was. But anyway, a couple things I want to say. MVP should have been Jason Myers, hands down. The best player for us, Christian Gonzalez.
hands down. Will Campbell, 21st game, right? I don't know what we want to say about that, but what do you think about Will?
Well, I'm going to go with what Rob Ninkovich said. That he's a damn good player, could have a knee injury, and that he's a tackle, and he was going up against a really good defensive line. He struggled. Jared Wilson struggled too. Do I think Myers should have been the MVP? No. I think Kenneth Walker was the biggest difference in the game. I do. I definitely do. Jake in Boston. Jake.
Hey, what's going on, fellas? First time, long time. Joe, want to get your thoughts real quick on a tight end and free agency this year. Isaiah Likely, a young kid from Everett, Mass kid. Want to get your thoughts on, maybe replacing Hoop with him, or maybe you run the Hunter and Likely stack sometimes, or one of the other of them. Also, Joe, I know you're betting guys. I wanted to see if you hit anything yesterday. I was fortunate enough to hit Barner first touchdown and anytime, and I hit the first half under. So I wanted to check in with you guys. Hope all is well, and thanks for taking my call.
Yeah, that's a huge hit on Barner. I had Ramondre anytime touchdown, and I had Drake May over 290 total yards, which he had 295. So, ching-ching on that one. The rest of them, though, did not go well. But it was a winning day. Hooch also had a winning day, who I think is listening on an airplane right now because he sent me. Is everybody coming home tonight? I mean, the guy from Hull, he must have had a couple of pops on the plane. Jen's in Wellesley. Hello, Jen.
Hi.
Hi.
My comment isn't very detailed, but could it be the case that the Patriots aren't that good yet? The AFC had a very weird year, and they just got exposed because they played a good team. I mean, could it be that simple?
It could be that simple that they beat everyone that was in their way, and when it came to 2 weeks to prepare against a great team, the tougher teams that the Seahawks played probably showed than the Patriots. Correct.
Right. Because they beat the Bills maybe on a bad call, right? I mean, if Cooks had caught that ball, the Bills could have had
no,
a field goal possibly, right?
No,
and then the Bo Nix breaks his ankle.
Yeah,
I mean there was some luck to that.
Absolutely. Yeah, and then Nico Collins was out for the Texans. My only thing was the way that they played was to let the other team screw up, and when you had to make plays, make them, which happened. It just didn't happen with Sam Darnold. Right.
The Patriots' defense looked decent. I mean, I'm not an expert.
They were very good.
But anyways.
All right. Well, the schedule I don't think mattered yesterday, but I do think that the Patriots faced the best team that they went up against all year. There's no doubt about that. No doubt. Gino.
Hey, what's up, Joe Murray? Haven't called in a while. Hope you're doing well. What's it called? I am really not happy with Will Campbell declining to go to the media and make any comments. So going back a couple of weeks ago when he was talking about not caring about like fake Twitter comments and this and skipping out, it's kind of seeming like a lot of this stuff is starting to get to him and bother him. And, for somebody who cries on draft night saying he's going to fight and die for this team and put his best effort, he's not exactly too inclined to step up for his quarterback and kind of leave him out to dry when he's out there in tears because he's so upset that he had probably the worst game of his career. I'm not too happy with Will Campbell right now. I'm not liking his attitude. I don't know how you feel, but
I wish he was more accountable after the game. Everybody else was. I did tongue-in-cheek joke about him that he likes to say things in the media, but was not inclined to speak to the media after the loss yesterday. Randy's in Providence. Randy!
Hey, how's it going, Joe?
Hey.
What a season, right?
Great year. 30 weeks.
My goodness, man. Yeah, look, this team overachieved a lot this year, and they've got a lot of fans disappointed and stuff, but, I feel like we got to remember the good things. Look, they built a team that players want to come to, players want to play at, right? And then Christian Gonzalez went out there, shut down the best receiver in the NFL. Craig Woodson is a freaking dog, all right, all over the place, tackling, bringing up passes. is ridiculous. Like, if a Super Bowl appearance is the ground floor, I'm super excited to see where this team's going to go.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the future's bright, no doubt. Thanks, Randy. Future's bright. It was just a disappointing loss. That's all. It was disappointing. On the biggest game of the year, the guys had their worst game of the year. Not great. Not great. Frank's in L.A. What's up, Frank?
Hey, Joe. How you doing? You and Skaz saying hi from L.A. I was at the game last night, and, you know, for me, as bad as it was, and it was super disappointing, I got just a couple things I want to say. One, the first half, I just felt to me, and I'm not an expert, Joe, but it was like delayed handoff up the middle, nothing. I'm like, when are they going to get aggressive? It felt like they were playing a little too careful, but I'll tell you what, as bad as it went, that interception in the fourth quarter, you know, they made it 19-7. It was a quick turnaround. I was actually thinking, here we go. All they got to do is get that second touchdown. Now we're in a score. Maybe something happens. But as bad as it went on the offense, that was the biggest moment to me, and I was wondering what you thought about that. And then I'll just say this: there were a lot of patch jerseys there. I was surprised, but we are not quite as loud. But I think, Joe, they were tight, man. I think everybody was tight, waiting for the shoe to drop. But I'll listen to you about that interception, because that interception and just the offense in general is just wicked disappointing.
Yeah,
man.
Brian Hoyer said that Drake threw it to the right guy. I would have thrown it to Williams on the outside because there was less people there. But I just didn't think they needed to get all those yards in that one chunk play. Work it down the field. Make it a one-possession game and put pressure on the quarterback like they've done all year. But they didn't do that. They went for the long ball, and it was double covered, and that's that. That's that. All right, we'll take a quick break. I see tons of people on the phones. We'll get to you guys. We're going to do in or out at 7:50 tonight. So stay tuned for that. And we'll hit the headline right now. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headline, presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Well, the Patriots were the losers in Super Bowl 60, and the Seahawks were the winners, and their MVP was Kenneth Walker. He's a running back. The Red Sox made a trade today. They acquired Caleb. picture we can look at it is, well, Drake Maye and the Patriots made it, and maybe they'll go back. But there are times with quarterbacks like this, when they go in their second season, they haven't been back yet. Haven't been back. There's a big list of those guys. We can give you those coming up in just a little bit. When Rob Ninkovich called, he talked about the rookie class. I thought Woodson had a great day. The safety, I think he's been pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
he's a safety, but I don't think there was expectations for him when they drafted him. Him and Hawkins, real quick, have you ever seen Hawkins blow a play this year?
Almost. JSN early in that game.
Do you think that he was a liability?
No, they're the back end. Dude, I had no issues really with the defense in that game.
And normally most teams are spending money back there. And they drafted a kid that's probably a free safety and will be there for years to come under contract. Hawkins is a free agent. They could improve there. But I think Hawkins is, as far as that's the safety in the secondary is gone, they've been pretty good. Should also mention Christian Gonzalez was a bright spot. If I told you Jackson Smith and Jigba had 4 catches, and they only gave up 1 touchdown on defense, you'd think they won the Super Bowl, right?
Certainly would have thought it would have been a lot closer, Joe.
It was not. The pass breakup on Shaheed was great. He had the backside coverage there. Really nice play. And then had the pass breakup against Smith and Jigba as well. Same assignment. Very good. But Craig Woodson's been somebody that I think is a real big bright spot for the Patriots this year. All right, back to your phones here. We got in or out coming up after this. Rob's in Oxford. Rob.
Hey, Joe. So I wanted to get your opinion on Josh McDaniels' play call, particularly in the first half. I feel like there were so many first and second down runs that just ended up forcing us to pass on third down, and the Seattle defense would just sit back.
Okay. So you think that they didn't go deep enough?
I don't think they were aggressive enough. I just felt like that Josh McDaniels wasn't prepared with his 10 years of knowledge of being in the Super Bowl. It just seemed very pedestrian.
I agree. I was unimpressed.
I was very unimpressed in the first half. It just seemed like they didn't want to let Drake air it out or even try.
Maybe he
and that put us behind the 8 ball.
Maybe he couldn't.
Maybe it was the shoulder. They were afraid of that, but they didn't even give him the opportunity. I mean, maybe they were also worried about Will Campbell not being able to give him the time to protect and allow plays to develop.
Agree. There was something there. Some restriction. It was definitely not what they've been doing all year. Paul's in Falmouth. Paul.
Hey, good evening, Joe. Like your show. I'd make 3 points. The first is the AFC this year was much weaker than the NFC. So, to me, I thought the Patriots would lose, even though I was rooting for them because of that. I think there's 5 or 6 teams in the NFC. If they were in it, they would have beaten the Patriots. So, they're coming from a weak division with a weak schedule. It's not surprising. Secondly, I would say I didn't think the team was prepared properly to play Seattle. You got to know that Campbell can't block anyone. So you got to have a tight end over there. You got to have your running back blocking the first blitzer that comes in. Where was the planning to play a tremendous defense? I thought the coaching and the game plan to play Seattle was wretched. I think they were just overconfident or something. So I'd make those 2 points. And, Drake Maye did get rattled, but when you have an offensive line that can't block, I really can't blame the kid. I mean, it's his first Super Bowl. I didn't think it was his fault. I would toll it up to the offensive line, which I thought was absolutely horrendous.
All right, Paul. All good takes right there. Danny's in Quincy. Hi, Danny.
Well, I'll just say one thing about Gonzalez. I know he had a good game, but is anybody... he had an interception before the end of the first half, and he dropped it. That cost him 3 points. And all I heard was Zoe bitching about Donald's throw when he should have been saying he should have had it. And I'm nitpicking on the guy. He should have had it. And you look at the reaction with him on the ground with his face down. I didn't even call for that, but you brought up Gonzalez. That cost us 3 points. I thought they were going to lose the game 3-0. I felt like they were down 30-0. So for people to say that the interception, they were not down 19-7, and before the interception, people actually thought they were going to come back in that game. I don't know what game you were watching, but anyway, I mean, Josh McDaniels has to be the most overrated offensive coordinator in Patriots history. Okay, in terms of nurturing a quarterback into the NFL, I'll give him that. Okay, but he doesn't scheme receivers. I called Felger and Maz on their Saturday night show. They completely dismissed it. All right, I personally think 50% of those hit sacks and pressures that he got were coverage. They were coverage induced. I give Drake Maye the benefit of the doubt that if he's on his third read and he's not getting rid of the ball, there's no one open, and no one brings it up, including you. All I heard last night was Dundero saying he had... Does Dundero, Jim Murray, and Dakota from Braintree have their own secondary cameras where they can see receivers? They didn't even... The replays didn't show anybody wide open, unless I missed it. Chime in when you want, Joe.
I think they had no philosophy in the game.
Well, you don't believe any of those were coverage sacks? You don't believe... I saw Seattle... lining up three guys, and this is what Andy Reid and McVay do in L.A. because they're offensive-minded coach. They devise schemes where if the receivers can't get open on their own, they take people off certain zones, and they leave middles open. They line up three guys on one side. Seattle did it last night. They blitzed Drake Maye right off the bat.
Yep.
And I thought, and with Gonzalez playing as well as he did, I thought the Patriots were going to match blitz for blitz. They blitz, you blitz.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't blitz at all. They blitz a couple of times here and there.
I agree.
How could Dundero and these other people see that people were wide open when I'm watching on TV? You can't see the receivers. Explain that to me. If you're at the game, I guess you can see it. But unless they were at the game, I don't believe them. And I think, again, holding onto the ball too long. Well, if there's nobody open and you're stuck in the pocket, what are you supposed to do? Intentionally ground it or throw a pick? Can you address any of the stuff I'm talking about? I don't want to just rant and then
no,
get hung up on.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening. I don't know why. I don't know what Dundero thought because I only work with him.
He was on the show, and I'm not picking on him.
I was the other guy in the chair.
I'm not picking on him. Do you believe receivers were wide open?
I think that there were some opportunities. Austin Hooper was open.
Okay, I'm not saying none of the time these guys weren't open, but there was a trend. The 3 playoff games leading up to the Super Bowl, you needed miracle throws in tight coverage, and you needed miracle one-handed catches and Diggs snacking the ball out of between 3 guys. They were so hard to get receptions. So I'm not even in the Super Bowl. Forget that. But leading up to the game, there's never these receivers couldn't get open. And if you can't get open because you have a lack of talent, then you've got to scheme them open. Which brings me back to McDaniels. What the frig was he doing? Draw plays on 1st and 10.
He ran the ball on first down on 4 of the 4 first plays of the first 5 drives.
No play action.
No
jumbo package, no bunch formation.
No motion.
If you wanted to hold a tight end in to block, get under center, play action, roll out. I didn't see any of that. I don't know. I didn't see any of it.
I didn't see any
His offensive game plan sucked, and he couldn't adjust.
I agree with you.
He couldn't adjust, and he's getting a free ride because he got the MVP or whatever the blink it was on the stupid awards. I'm so glad Drake Maye didn't get that award. I feel bad for the kid. 23 freaking years old, and people are ranking on him when the day before the Super Bowl, he was like Tom Brady, and now he sucks.
Yep.
It's freaking unbelievable. This town, I have had it with it. And I know people have had it with me, but I don't give a bleep, Joe. Because it sucks to hear these people rank on the guy when all I heard was poo-poo party platters for Drake Maye, and now he sucks.
I love party platters.
Yeah, I do too. Okay?
He does suck. Last night's game plan sucked. For a guy who's coached in 10 Super Bowls, he sucked. He had no scheme, no philosophy.
All I ever said is he's overrated, Joe.
He's overrated.
Wait a minute. He had Tom Brady as his freaking quiet. Why do I hear about Bill Belichick having Tom Brady? But because so he doesn't count. But I never hear it about Josh McDaniels.
You never do.
No,
I know.
I never do. It's like, what did Josh McDaniels make Tom Brady now? What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Be consistent, for Christ's sake.
Yep.
Yeah, you're just saying yeah to appease
No,
me.
I agree with everything you're saying.
All right,
What's good for the goose is good for the gander. Hey, what'd you have?
I had to get that off my chest, man.
I know, I can tell.
I've been listening all day, and I'm like, Madison Felga completely just. Oh, I disagree, Danny. Oh, he schemed open Pop Douglas like 8 weeks ago, Tony. That's why I'm going to get them tomorrow. If I get through tomorrow, I'm getting them.
You get them.
Denver sucked. Their defense sucked. Just the whole thing just blows my mind. How people can take a 180. You know how hard it is to get to that game?
It's hard. It's very hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm here. I'm in Drake Maye's corner. I guarantee 50% of his sacks were coverage related.
Okay.
Nobody got open. And you can't throw the ball away from the pocket. You're going to get called for an intentional grounding or you're going to get picked off, which is what his problem was earlier in the season.
You got it.
Nothing, no adjustments by Josh McDaniels at all. That guy's a freaking overrated dunce.
Overrated dunce. Completely
I'm
agree.
just saying it. I'm just spewing off. He's overrated, Joe. Okay?
I agree.
Great babysitter for a quarterback.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Talk to me the next time a quarterback pops out of the womb, all right?
All right,
we'll get Josh McDaniels on it right away.
You call in tomorrow, Felger Maz. I'm going to tell him.
Thanks for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye. I was just agreeing with him. He was calling him a dunce and all this stuff. I just had to let it go.
I co-sign just about everything Danny said.
I usually don't, to be honest with you.
I was team Danny and Quincy on that one.
I think Josh McDaniels was great, but everything that we hated about Josh McDaniels being the offensive coordinator showed last night. I know something's going to happen. We're going to find out Drake Maye had some sort of injury. I was trying to needle.
No, much to do about nothing, Joe. We were told. Insiders, Guys we pay, Joe, and told us. Not much to do about nothing.
Even last night when I asked to.
You watched that game and still much to do about nothing?
Well, I mean, I'm the jerk who brought it up. Like, Dundero goes, "Hey, Joe, what's your opening take?" And I go, "Well, the better team won." And then I said, "I do think the shoulder had an issue." And then all hell broke loose. And then Drake Maye said, "Yep, got an injection in my shoulder." And then that's when I was like, "Yep."
Oh, so the quarterback said it, but much to do about nothing.
That's right.
I'm not really seeing the correlation there, Joe.
I've had that sniffer out for 2 weeks.
I'm happy that Danny likes party platters.
I heard he makes a really good blue cheese dip. He's told me about it.
You got insider info on everything, Joe.
They do. The phone lines are absolutely loaded. We have to play in or out. So everyone just relax. Have some fun. Have a party platter. And then we're going to do in or out, which this hour, the sports was brought to you by Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com. You'll save 15% off an extra out oil change. Valvoline Instant Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. Did Josh McDaniels talk after the game? Have you heard anything from Josh McDaniels?
I've not heard from Josh.
Me either.
I mean, maybe he talked to somebody, Joe. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess, but...
Oh, maybe. Yeah, because it's a big boy Tuesday tomorrow, right?
Yeah, you can tell us all about how Drake Maye's shoulder didn't matter.
We got in a row coming up next. 98.5 The Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly?
It meets.
This is guaranteed.
Let's head over to our friends at Absolute Vodka. Absolute Vodka has teamed up with Tabasco to make Absolute Tabasco, a chili peppered flavored vodka.
No,
Joe Murray?
No. Out. Absolute's got enough fire itself. I don't need more. I don't need salsa or whatever the hell. Tabasco.
You don't want basically vodka flavored hot sauce?
No.
Or vice versa?
Do you know that there's a shot that I took once? These dudes, we got, and they bought us shots. The shots had Tabasco sauce in them, and I got really they didn't go over well. I forget the name of them now. Out! I know what I used to save all the Absolute bottles, though. And then if you put, like, ink in them or certain color, food coloring, and then you get a black light, it looks really cool and trippy. And then I would listen to that Korn album that didn't start till song number 13. And remember the stars you put on your ceiling? Like glowed in the dark? And you're really tripping. Next.
All right, Joe, maybe the biggest news over the last week in all of sports. One of your favorite events, Joe, a new event. Fox has announced they are moving the Weenie 500.
What?
It will no longer be on the app. It will be on TV.
Yes!
So the second edition of the Weenie 500 will now be aired on TV. You will not have to go to the app. Joe Murray, are you in or out on the Weenie 500? Getting some real TV time.
In! I did live play-by-play of this thing from my basement last year. In on the Weenie 500, in on the song, in on the wagons, in on the weenies. This could be a big-time event. They could have this, and then as kind of like the road to 4th of July, the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. Yeah, someone told me the name of that album was Follow the Leader by Korn. Thank you. See? So I what I said resonated with somebody else to the point where they knew what I was talking about. Because they also probably tripped and had stars on their ceiling and Absolute vodkas.
All right, Joe, we will head to a zoo in San Antonio for this next one.
Boy.
A San Antonio zoo will let you name a cockroach or a rat after your ex and have it fed to an animal. The San Antonio Zoo runs the campaign to help people get over breakups while fundraising for animal care. Joe Murray, are you in or out?
In, because we all grieve in different ways. And if it makes you feel good helping animals, making a rat, calling it by its name, and then feeding it to some other animal to destroy it, I think if that gives you satisfaction, I support you in. How do you feel about that?
Why not? Animal gets a nice little snack. You're donating to a good cause. I'd like it if you got to do it yourself. You got to feed the animal, but I'm sure legal reasons they're not letting that happen. Joe, we are having some people chime in on the YouTube chat and on Twitter asking what is the Weenie 500. As we are such experts on it, we didn't really even explain the event.
They're Weenie mobiles.
Yeah. So Oscar Mayer's Weenie Mobile. They have a fleet of them.
Yes, and
they race.
Correct.
And it's tremendous.
Yep. And they can only go a certain amount of speed. Plus their wheels and tires and the driver, the wind, the weather.
When Kenan Thompson and Kel Mitchell are teaming up again for a horror comedy film titled Kenan and Kel Meet Frankenstein.
Oh.
The story follows two delivery drivers whose routine drop-off takes a terrifying turn when they arrive at a creepy out-of-place castle and accidentally awaken Frankenstein's monster. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Kenan and Kel making a horror comedy film?
Yeah, sure, I'm in. I saw Scream 7 was coming out.
I did see an ad for that yesterday.
I didn't know there was 7 or 6 already, did you?
I did not.
Is Gwen still in them? Or Nev Campbell? Kenan and Kel would be... Yeah, I'm in on them. Who did I see this weekend? The guys at Card Vault had a big party at... Tom Brady did a big Card Vault opening in San Fran. Who's the guy who would make up... Why can't I remember his name right now? Who's the guy that would make up the football names on Monday Night Football?
Key and Peele?
Key and Peele, that's what I'm thinking of. They showed up, which is pretty cool. ripping cards and stuff like that. So would that be the dude from Saturday Night Live? Is that who we're talking? No, that's
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson.
Yeah, same guy. All that.
Were they in Good Burger together too?
Yes. Yep. I think they might have made a second one of those. I think.
Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. May I take your order?
All right, Joe. We will head to our good friends over at McDonald's for this next one. McDonald's announced they're dropping a new Frank's Red Hot menu collaboration.
Whoa!
With items including a Frank's Red Hot Creamy Garlic Bacon and Egg McMuffin.
Whoa.
A Frank's Red Hot Original McCrispy Sandwich.
Whoa, in.
Frank's Red Hot Hot Honey Dipping Sauce.
I've already had the hot honey, and I did a review on TikTok if you want to go check it out.
So, Joe Murray, are you in or out on a McDonald's and Frank's Red Hot collaboration menu?
In. My only thing is I feel like Frank's Red Hot, I know you can put it on anything, but wouldn't you only want it on chicken? I feel like you would only want that on chicken. Like, could you get a McDouble with Frank's Red Hot? I don't know if I'd want that.
It might be a lot.
Put it on a chicken sandwich, though. What about Frank's Red Hot dip for the nuggies?
In on that.
Me too.
Yeah, why not?
In.
All right, Joe. Valentine's Day is coming up, and Denny's in Las Vegas is offering free weddings to anyone who will get married at Denny's in Las Vegas this Valentine's Day. Joe Murray, are you in or out?
It's free.
If it's free, it's for me.
Well, we should let Tim McCone know about this.
Well, Joe, I'm also looking.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, babe, you want to take a flight next weekend or this weekend?
Tell her about the
Grand Slam.
Well, the Grand Slam breakfast is phenomenal, but the chicken and waffles is something really, really, really good. You know, it's so funny. Yeah, so you are too. Okay. Because Tim and he was talking to me recently about it.
Ain't cheap, Joe.
It's not.
It ain't cheap.
It's not cheap. You got to know a guy, and even they want $50,000. 50. Sorry, I was on the low side. I don't, Skaz. I wouldn't want you to get married at Denny's.
Thank you, Joe.
That's why I said Tim McCone. Kidding. If it's free, right?
If it's free.
Speaking of that, did you see Benito last night had a live wedding?
Yes, a real wedding at halftime.
At halftime?
Yes. Apparently they invited him to their wedding, and he said, well, why don't you just come at the Super Bowl halftime show? We'll do it right there. Oh, that was pretty cool. In on that.
I actually was thinking that, like, hey, is there something behind this? And boom, there it was.
A real
Did you
wedding.
see Kevin James there by himself?
I did not see Kevin James. I saw Pedro Pascal.
I
certainly saw Jessica Alba. I saw Cardi B.
Whoa.
Ricky Martin.
By the way, there's some scuttle.
Yeah, I think the Stephon Diggs experiment in New England may be over.
So I heard a rumor. Should I say it now?
Rumors, Joe, and get you in trouble.
Yeah, you're right. But anyways, I didn't start it. Raindrops.com did, or whoever they are.
I'm sorry?
Hang on, I posted it. It's in Slack. Hang on. Raindrops Media. Excuse me. Cardi B and Stephon Diggs broke up in the middle of the Super Bowl.
That seems like it may be one-sided then. I don't know if he was involved at the breakup, if it was during the Super Bowl.
She reportedly left after spending $1.2 million on a Super Bowl after party that neither of them attended. Diggs' other baby mother had front row tickets.
It's a good story, Joe. I'll say that.
If that's true.
Makes for a salacious headline.
If that's true. Not to mention his upcoming legal battles and things of that degree. Do you think his focus was on the game?
I think Stephon Diggs is used to the noise, Joe. I think he's a man who has lived in the noise, may even thrive in it. I think his focus was on the game.
Yeah, baby, I like it like that. I think we might have that in the system. Anything else tonight?
Yeah, one more, Joe. And JP has checked in, says Good Burger 2 was filmed in North Providence at the Old Friendlies. So JP and NP checking in, boots on the ground. Joe, we can end with this one tonight. Lance Armstrong biopic is in the works with Austin Butler set to play Lance Armstrong. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Austin Butler as Lance Armstrong? And are you in or out on a Lance Armstrong biopic?
I would watch a Lance Armstrong. Yes.
Yeah, we should check in on them this week. See how the long ski jump's going.
Whatever happened with that? Yesterday,
maybe the Patriots could have used that yesterday. You think?
So Thunderos was talking about some injecting last night, and I couldn't help but think about that story. Like, you think the Pats could have used any injection?
Couldn't have hurt.
Besides, the one that Drake May had in his arm that he couldn't feel. Imagine that all week. All right, that's it. That was
That
In or
is going to
Out.
wrap up Monday night edition of In or Out.
All right. We took a break, everybody. Joe's giving mischievous looks. JP's in there saying raunchy things. Read that on air, Joe Murray. Someone said, what was it? I don't know. Our chat's running hot. Our phone lines are going strong, and we're here till 10 o'clock. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
The Sports Hub, I'm Joe Murray. Skaz is here. We got Dawson, our intern, back there cutting up some audio. Super Bowl 60, who's to blame? More of your calls. Let's start with Kevin. He's in West Roxbury. What's up, Kevin?
What's up, Joe? Thanks. Howdy, neighbor.
Howdy.
Hyde Park guy. So
nice.
Calling in, just saying, my first thought is, I'll be quick. I'll be much faster than Danny from Quincy. I think we should have taken the ball. I think, with how bad we offensively played in the playoffs, we had the chance to take the ball. I think for the short shot that we could have put some points up on the board first, I think we should have taken that chance. And also thinking that, no deep shots at all, really, with how bad Behringer's been. Worst case, Drake Maye throws a couple deep shots, 40, 50 yards down the field and gets picked off. The ball's going to be where it's going to be when we punt anyways, or even further. So I was kind of bummed not to see them take any deep shots at all.
Well, they did, and then it got intercepted.
Yeah, but that was at the end of the game. I think you got to come out with some balls and try to score. I think that's the McDaniels special, which we've been seeing for 20 years of the conservative play, and we don't do the screen passes like we used to when Brady was here. But just overall, I was, I'm not super mad with how it ended up. Obviously, it would have been great to win the Super Bowl, but it's just bummed to see how conservative they played, and obviously the line was getting annihilated. But you gotta try to throw the ball a little, right?
Yeah. Did you get a party platter at Roach Brothers?
I did go to Roach Brothers right before the game. The buff chick dip was sold out by the time I got there. I was at the Corb having a few Guinnesses.
Oh, I love the Corb. Corb has great food.
Yeah. Awesome food at the Corb. Great vibes there. Didn't win any of the squares either, but I did go to Roach Brothers, and by the time I got there, kind of everything, no party platter. So I need to hit up Danny from Quincy next time to get a party platter from him.
Yep. Well, I'll let him know, Kevin. Appreciate your call, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That used to be the thing to do. Roach Brothers, Super Bowl Sunday. They had that a la carte wings, but when the buffalo dip is out of stock, guys, can we hear? Well, maybe we'll save it for the musings. But you had a nice little Super Bowl party yesterday.
Nothing crazy, just a couple people. But yeah, pigs in a blanket, some pepperoni bread,
buffalo dip.
There was some dip, lots of dips, French onion, buffalo, lots of dips, chips, all that stuff. No wings. That was probably our biggest oversight. Pizza, no deviled eggs, Joe.
Remember our social that we had? Everyone said wings.
Everyone said wings. And we went pigs in a blanket, heavy on the pigs in a blanket.
We had a little party here. Jeremy Conley, and Kevin Maggiore got small pepperoni pizzas for themselves. We shared buffalo wings that were very good, and mozzarella sticks. Jake brought Augustus, and oh boy, was I dipping.
You were dipping.
Dude, he brought buffalo sauce and Gold Fever. And I was mixing all the sauces, and I was like, Jake, you got to try this. So he started doing it, and he goes, dude, it's so good. I'm like, dude, how come you haven't been doing this your whole life? So I ate like a king yesterday. I even got Dom's steak tips in there. I went to a card show, and some dude that worked at Dom's.
Oh, you did make it over to the card show.
So I made it to the card show.
Okay.
But I was trying to go to Dom's after. And the kid one of the kids who bought a card off me works at Dom's, and he goes, "Oh, they close at 4 today." I'm like, "Oh, I'm not going to make it." Dude came back and gave me a Tupperware full of Dom steak tips.
What a guy. Shout out that guy.
And I said to Dom, I texted Dom, I go, "Dude, David, your coworker, went above and beyond for me today. He just went out of his way to bring me steak tips." They didn't make it here. I ate them in the car.
I respect the honesty.
Yeah, Street Team Joe's been texting me all night. I think he's upset about something that we should get into on the other side. But I told you I got a pizza once that it was so good it never made it home. I ever ate an entire pizza in your car before on the way home?
I can't say I've eaten an entire pizza in my car, Joe.
I ate an entire pizza by myself in a car. We'll talk about that another day. Carol is in Salem, New Hampshire. Hi, Carol.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
How are you doing?
I'm very good. How are you guys?
I'm great. How's Salem, New Hampshire tonight?
It's actually warm. I think we're at 28 degrees now. So it feels like spring.
I love the T-bones over there.
Yeah, they're great, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I actually don't think that yesterday's loss can be blamed on the players at all. Like, according to me, this fell squarely on the shoulders of the coaching staff. And I feel like I'm not an expert. I'm not a football expert. I'm really just a fan. But I've been watching the Patriots since I was young. So I've been watching them for 20-plus years. And we have faced this kind of defense before against the Rams and against the Legion of Doom, I think that's what it was called in 2015. And in those two games, Bill Belichick always adjusted the plays. He overrode whatever was going on. And I felt yesterday that Josh McDaniels and Vrabel just stood there while the left guard and the left tackle just got manhandled. I mean, it was just utter destruction. And I don't feel like they even had any plan for that. And like I said, I'm not an expert, but as soon as we won the AFC Championship, I did look at some highlights from Seattle, and I did note that they were a smothering, explosive defense. And I would have expected the coaching staff to have planned for that. And there was a lot of talk about that weak left side from all the analysts. So I think it was just obvious to everybody. It was a complete shock to me yesterday that there was no adjustment made. I mean, the first half was just a literally porous left side. And poor Drake Maye, he didn't even have 2 seconds. He was on his ass in the first, 1.5 seconds he was down. He had no time. And I'm not even going to blame the receivers either, because that scheme just was not going to work. And to me, it feels like the technical staff probably went out and scouted the Seattle Seahawks, but they did not scout their own team. So this, to me, falls squarely on the shoulders of the coaching staff, especially Josh McDaniels. Now, I don't want to be a person who says coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I feel like Bill Belichick would not have let us be exposed like that. He would have made some in-game adjustments. He would have gone in there and just said, throw out the plan. We're going in a different direction. We're going to try to salvage what's out there. I didn't feel like Vrabel does that, but maybe that's not his personality. But to me, I feel like Josh McDaniel owes the Patriot Nation some explanations. Thank you for hearing me out.
Thank you. Josh McDaniels, the fall guy, Skaz. He's been a fall guy all year long, and now that they've lost every loss, we've blamed on Josh. That's why he's here. He's here to be the fall guy. Tony's in Boston. Tony.
Hey, Joe. Long time listener. So, two things. So, first I want to talk about this Patriots team. And what happened in the Super Bowl, Joe, and I'm pretty sure you know this, is that all these issues that we saw at the beginning of the season with the lack of talent, the same issues that we talked about, receiving on offense and all that other stuff, was exposed. And it happened way before the Super Bowl. The moment they started playing top-rated defenses. You notice the offense went down. So I don't want to hear nothing about excuses about injuries and nothing like that, because at this point everybody has injuries. Everybody's being shot up to get on the field, so that's not an excuse. And the other thing was, I heard earlier today that I think the coaches were like hoping that Donald would mess up and give him a game, and if that was the plan going in, if that was their strategy to wait till Donald messed up, that's poor coaching. And the other thing is, if we say don't give the other team bulletin material, and these Warriors come out and play thing. I was watching the game, and I was talking about what they was chanting before they went to the Super Bowl, and I was like, do they realize the gang that said that died at the end?
Yeah, on what was his name, Luther?
Yeah, they was the one chanting Warriors come out and play, and they actually died at the end.
Yeah, it was Luther.
So, can we just say, as they started to face elite defenses,
Hey,
they
Tony,
got exposed,
what
man.
What are you doing right now?
I'm on my couch.
You were breathing heavy. I just wanted to make sure.
Oh yeah, I went upstairs to the attic and I came back down. I'm sorry about that.
No, I wanted to make sure you were good.
Oh no, I'm good.
I breathe heavy
But,
too when I go on a little run up the stairs myself. What's in the attic? What's in the attic?
Oh, I was going up to bring something down from there. Yeah, that's why I'm breathing hard. I'm getting old, Joe.
Me too. I feel you.
So, I mean, I'm just like, it started when they started facing these elite defenses, and we can say, I mean, they really didn't face a top-rate quarterback, and it's going to be hard getting back, man, because this was probably the easiest pass they had. They didn't have to face any AFC top-rated quarterbacks, man.
You're right, bro.
At all.
Thanks, Tony.
And the truth, all right, Joe.
You're the man.
All right.
Thank you. I didn't mean to cut him off. Do you have an attic, Skaz?
Yes. I've not been up there, but I
Scary
have
up
one.
there.
Yeah, mine's like kind of odd too. It's like in a closet,
Small
kind of like there's like a stairwell up there.
Yeah.
It's weird.
You ever see like Christmas Vacation? He has one of those attics with the ladder that comes up.
Yeah. I used to have that in the house growing up.
I don't go up there.
No.
If someone's living up there, have at it, Huss.
Yeah. Enjoy the ice dance, bud.
Exactly. All right, Chris is in Swansea.
How you guys doing? Sorry, I have to comment about all these offensive coordinators and all of these, players and everybody that has great things to say about what should have happened, except for maybe the better team just beat the team.
Well, I agree with
You
that.
had a Cinderella team that came to the Super Bowl that most people bet under 8 wins. And we got delighted by going to the Super Bowl. But now all of a sudden we want to fire Josh McDaniels. We want to dust the left tackle. We want to, I don't know. What is wrong with these people? Sorry. In my mind, 2 teams played. The best team won. Yes, we had deficient in some places, but do we need to dust everybody because of it? You want to pick apart every play because of it? Armchair quarterbacks, armchair offensive coordinators, armchair defensive coordinators, no thanks.
Well, in their defense, they just lost the biggest game of the year.
Yeah, and they were supposed to win 8. According to some of you, lose 8.
Well, listen, I was on the under. I didn't think they were going to get there. Just my opinion.
So, wait, so where's the... So if you didn't even think they were going to get there, then why is there criticism that they did get there? And ultimately, yes, they fell short. We all knew.
They no-showed, bro.
It was thin.
It's the biggest game of the year, and they no-showed. And their quarterback was hurt, and they lied about it.
And again, they were supposed to win 8 games.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. In the biggest game of the year, they didn't bring their A game, and their quarterback was hurt.
But they played the best team of the year.
Yes, and they lost.
So if they're the second best team of the year, where's the failure?
Oh, the second best award, Chris. Are you going there right now?
No, but like, why is everybody hating and wanting to fire
Because nobody wants to be second best.
No. Joe. Why does everybody want to fire everybody? Because they exceeded expectations but lost the biggest game of the year.
Who do they want to
I
fire?
mean, I heard the guy rant about firing. He's talking about jumbos and this and that. Like, okay, why isn't he submitting his resume as the offensive coordinator if he wants McDaniels blown out? Like, everybody just knows everything because they play, I don't know, mail, plumbing, electrical, not football, but they all know everything.
Why are you worried about everybody else?
And that's what I get aggravated about.
Why are you worried about everybody else?
What is it?
Why are you worried about everybody?
I'm not worried about everybody else. I run a car dealership. That's all I care about.
Oh. Like a real dealer or like a mom and pop shop?
A CJDR dealer.
Oh, nice. Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram?
Yes, sir.
Do you know Skaz's family members?
I would never divulge anything, even if I did.
Oh! How are the new Jeeps?
I would never put somebody's privacy out there. That's not something I do. I've been doing this too long.
I know. Did you know I was in the business for a long time too?
I know but my point is.
Sorry. So does he know? Doesn't he know? Why does he care about everybody else's opinion if he doesn't divulge?
Yeah, you held on a lot longer than I would have, Joe.
It's a car guy.
Yeah, it's the car guy.
I didn't know it was a car guy until he told me. All right. We should talk about something else for a minute. How about Jason Tatum? What about him? Want to do that?
Sure, why not?
Let's do that next on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Patriots lost the Super Bowl and everybody should be fired according to everybody else that isn't me. Sources say Jason Tatum will play for the Maine Celtics, and it's so fun up in Portland. So many things to do. So many.
controlled 5-on-5 scrimmaging with coaches. He has aggressively attacked his rehab at every turn. And listen, there's more boxes for Jason Tatum to check. There's more phases in his rehab. He's got to practice with the team, of course. And then again, there's also the normal nerves of coming back from an injury of this magnitude, a torn Achilles in May, to a really good team that has aspirations for potentially advancing in the playoffs. And Jason Tatum has made clear to people around him, from my understanding, that he wants to come back as close to Jason Tatum as possible, not a shell of himself, not a lesser percentage of himself. And the other side of all of that is the Celtics medical staff will have to clear him 100% before he can return. And he himself will have to feel 100% confidence and trust in that leg before he makes a potential return this season.
It was leaked, or should I say maybe hinted, that the Super Bowl could be the time where he returns. And then we got an update from Shams. And then today we get an update that Jason Tatum will begin playing 5-on-5 basketball. And we'll do that with the Maine Celtics. And Dawson, our intern, he did some research. When Kristaps Porzingis was coming back from his leg injury last season, the Celtics brought their G League team to the Auerbach to practice with him. And then he made his season debut 8 days later. So it's February 9th. 9 plus 8 would be 17. Joe Math. Could Jason Tatum be back by February 17th? I'd say March.
Yeah.
What do you got on this? What do you got on this, guys?
Yeah, it's just shocking that Chris Haynes was the most wrong anyone's ever been. That's shocking. The experts, Drake May's shoulder, nothing to see here. Jason Tatum not playing this season. It's weird how the experts continue to whiff. But yes, Joe, on to March for the Celtics. Starting March 1st, they play the 76ers, Bucks, and Hornets in a 4-day stretch. I don't think you see them there. Then they have 2 days in between just about all of their next games throughout March. If you're going to see them, I would think like March 6th maybe is a date I would start to circle. I know people have looked at Tatum's birthday as a potential return date. I don't think that's going to be the case. That would be March 3rd. That feels just a little early for me. They play the Bucks on the 2nd. And they play the Hornets at home on the 4th. That would be a little early, but if he's ready to go, he's ready to go. It wasn't in that Shams report that we played. That one was from yesterday, but apparently today, I tried to find the audio. I couldn't find it, but he mentioned that he was not just practicing against the coaches, that he's also going to practice against the Stay Ready unit, and you mentioned, the Maine Celtics thing. So things trending upward for Jason Tatum. Things trending upward for your Boston Celtics.
What happened yesterday?
They got a Knicks team who got blown out by 40 points on Friday night to the Pistons.
Full transparency, I didn't see any of the game, but I know you worked it.
Yes, I did work it, Joe. It was an ugly one. Derek White was the only guy that showed up in the first half. Jaylen Brown was the only guy that showed up in the second half. Keita, Garza, and Vucevic all got in foul trouble early, and they were kind of toast after that. Jalen Brunson was awesome. Grand Theft Alvarado was making his presence felt out there, being a nuisance for ball handlers. So another decent player added to a roster in the East. Something you're going to have to deal with this season. Just an ugly one. Bad game. They shot horrible from 3. They actually outscored the Knicks in the paint. So a very odd Celtics game, but not a good one. I think a team like the Knicks gets blown out by 40 by the Pistons on Friday night. They were coming in with something to prove on Sunday, yesterday.
Now they'll take on the Bulls. Will Anthony Simons get a video montage?
No video montage for Anthony Simons. Maybe if he was a Bruin, but I don't think that the Celtics are going to do that one.
How'd Vucevic do yesterday?
He was not great, but
Dawson gave up.
Yeah, not great. He wasn't great yesterday. No one was great yesterday. It was an ugly one all around.
I think they were
Pritchard was bad.
Oh, off the bench?
He was not good, yeah.
Well, so if I didn't see it, did it ever happen?
No, I don't think a lot of people saw that one yesterday, Joe. That's why I was working it.
I was in a Super Bowl coma. I was doing a lot. Vanessa's got something to say. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, how are you, Joe?
I'm okay. How you doing?
Well, I got the 75-mile ride home from Gillette Stadium ahead of me, so I thought I'd give you guys a call and, maybe lighten the mood a little bit. I've heard your show all day long, listening to Felger and Maz analyze this game 6-way to Sundays, O-line, D-line, Maye, et cetera, the coaching staff. And I was sitting up in Beverly over a Mai Tai consoling myself, watching all the post-game interviews with the players. And all I can say is my heart was breaking listening to Drake May's voice quiver as he told us all he had shot up his arm and couldn't feel much of anything. So, yes, they weren't being truthful with us, but I don't know how they could have handled it any other way. But it was difficult to hear him because he's got a good heart and soul, and he's a hard worker, and he needs to heal up. Obviously, there's something wrong there. But I decided to make the trip down. I haven't been down here to see the buses come back from the airport since the last Super Bowl ring, and I wanted to show my appreciation for what, other than that, was a remarkable fairy tale season that I don't think any of us saw coming. So myself and probably about 25, 30 other hardy souls, I got down there around 5:30 and couldn't figure out when the buses were coming. So I called the Boston news station, and they told me. I had a little dinner, and then I raced down the 80 steps to Patriot Hall of Fame Pro Shop, and timing was right. The buses were coming up the hill, and out of the back of all the 7 buses, we see this familiar figure walking in our direction. Our NFL Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel, came out to see us all, and it was just a joyful few moments. He was very gracious. He was super friendly. I gave him a big hug. We all expressed our love and appreciation for all the effort that they put in this year and all they accomplished. And it was just a great, 5 or 10 minutes. He took his time with everybody, smiling ear to ear, and posed for pictures, signed my helmet. And I was crying when I left there because I know this isn't the end of, it's just the end of this season, but I think it's the beginning of a great new era for this team. And I'm so proud of all that they accomplished. I really am. Just heartfelt, sincere appreciation for them.
So you watched them lose sitting at the Jade with a Mai Tai?
I actually watched the game. There was no place in Newburyport I wanted to go, so I went to Gloucester to the Cut.
Oh, the Cut, great spot.
Yeah,
great little venue.
Great place for bands.
They got a little.
Well, they had a big screen.
Oh, nice. They had that there. They make a nice smash burger. The place it's tied to.
Yeah, exactly. Well, last night it was a limited menu Detroit pizza. I find it hard to believe. I came in from watching the All-American halftime show alternative in the car. I refused to watch the train wreck of halftime because of
Vanessa.
the demonic.
Thank you for your call. Things are going well, Skaz. It only took until 8:57 for that to be mentioned tonight. I didn't hang up, by the way.
No, I did.
I know you
happily.
Did. I know you did. Benito.
Yes. Enjoyed it thoroughly.
All right. Let's muse about this one. I got questions. And I also got a story about poop. We like poop, right?
Depends.
Depends. Get it? We'll have this hour of the Sports has been brought to you by Valvoline and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle maintenance this month. Visit knowingatoilchange.com. You'll save 15% off your next drive-through oil change at Valvoline and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. Let's do some musings next here on the Sports Hub.
You're listening to Joe Murray on 98.5. You're listening to Joe Murray on
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
Murray's Musings here on the Sports Hub, taking a little breather from the Super Bowl 60 football on the field talk. May I, all right, I got to ask the question because I like the Super Bowl halftime show. I liked the Super Bowl halftime show. When I have this conversation, I would like to be able to talk about things and not bring politics or your opinion into it. But I have to ask. I watched Benito Bad Bunny, but I believe there was another way to watch Kid Rock. I'm unfamiliar, Skaz. I don't know if you know. Excuse me if I'm ignorant, but I believe Dawson, you got something on this? Okay, good. He stayed away. So Kid Rock did his own concert. Skaz, I really.
Who cares, Joe?
Forgive me. I don't know, but no, I want to know what happened.
Why?
Well, I just want to know if it was bad.
Yes, it was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. Audio was bad.
Oh. Okay. I know nothing. So I just wanted to be able to have a conversation about it. So I guess we have no update on that. Great. Good. Benito. I like it like that. Oh, man. Cardi B was dancing to Benito. Well, and then I think Steph Diggs broke up with her.
Allegedly, Joe. Allegedly.
Because Cardi B saw his baby mama sitting at the 50-yard line. And she paid for a $1.2 million after party that nobody went to.
Did you call that a pickle, Joe? That's a tough pickle to be stuck in there.
What were some of the stories regarding Steph Diggs being late for practice for poop?
He's regular, Joe. He's very regular. He's got a schedule. You can respect that.
Well, you and I are on the same pee schedule.
Yes, very often. We will cross paths.
Dawson, there are times where me and Skaz go potty at the same time. It's not planned. We just see each other in the bathroom. And I say, we're on the same schedule, aren't we? Anything else to add to that?
I think we both take advantage of the breaks, Joe. The headline breaks usually a little longer.
Yeah. I didn't see a lot of commercials. I saw a Jurassic Park one that I liked. I liked the Goodwill Dunkin'.
Sure. A little heavy-handed, but sure.
You know what was funny? When it was Tom Brady, hey, how do you like them apples? And it was Jennifer Aniston with Tom. I was over the Tom. It was like,
a small cameo.
It was funny. But
what's George Costanza doing there?
What's
Jason
doing?
Alexander doing?
What was he doing? Payday. Or maybe he's part of the Drake.
Oh, the Drake. You gotta love the Drake.
Ben Affleck was the.
He was Will, basically.
He was Will.
It was an odd commercial.
I watched it, though. I saw it. It made me laugh.
There was a crypto commercial that got everyone at my house to boo at one point because it was like a karaoke commercial. And then at the very end, it was like, we're a crypto company. Loud boos for that commercial. But I don't really remember too many commercials this year. I was too busy eating pigs in a blanket.
So how were they? How'd you make them? Just dump them in
just a little. You buy the crescent rolls. You just fold those bad boys out, cut those up, and you just roll the little smokies, Joe, right in there. Pop them in the oven, 10 to 15 minutes. It's the easiest thing in the world.
Pringles had a commercial. Did you see with Sabrina Carpenter?
I did see Sabrina. Yes.
I was thinking that it would have been the Pringles can that we've encountered.
Oh well, let's hope Sabrina never has to deal with anything like that, Joe.
How'd you feel about Bon Jovi?
Stinks. I thought we were done with Bon Jovi. He's not from here. He's just like Kraft's pal, I guess. So we got to have Bon Jovi being our guy. That stinks. How about Chris Pratt also sucks.
Oh, though. Chris Pratt
stinks.
They were playing Alice in Chains Man in the Box when they announced it.
I saw that, yeah.
I thought that was cool. Did you notice the Backstreet Boys? The people were singing the song for the what was it? Was it T-Mobile? I can't remember.
Something like that, yeah.
Lay's had one about the father-daughter duo from the potato farm.
Yeah, that one, I don't remember that one.
Did you see the Minions?
Yeah, so there was some controversy with the Minions, I guess, Joe. The main Minions, the movie's not about them. I don't know much about the Minions show, I have to be honest. I'm unfamiliar with the Minions lore, but apparently people are upset that the Minions are not getting the right spinoff, I guess.
Yeah. There was no Gru. Is that his name? Gru?
Gru, yes, Steve Carell.
I like Gru. The Guy Fieri?
Yes.
The more you bosh, you act like a bosh. The more you're like a guy, you act like a guy.
He was becoming Guy over and over again. I did see that.
But the Jurassic Park Xfinity, I did like.
It was okay. It's fine.
You didn't like the AI guy?
Not an AI guy.
Yeah. So speaking of Super Bowl halftime shows, the odds are out for next year. Super Bowl 61, which will be at SoFi Stadium?
L.A., yes. Oh, that would be interesting. Well, Cardi B halftime show, sign me up.
Taylor Swift.
Too big. She will not do that.
Lil Wayne.
I mean, if you're in New Orleans, yes, but it feels like we missed the boat there.
A$AP Rocky.
I'm personally an A$AP guy. I would be a fan of that.
I thought we were going to get some Justin Bieber last night with a little Despacito. J. Cole?
I personally, I like J. Cole's new album's pretty good, but I don't see him doing a Super Bowl.
Drake,
I heard that Bad Bunny asked Drake to be part of his show, and he declined because he didn't want to take any of the shine. Well, he also just didn't want, let Bad Bunny have his moment.
Ariana Grande?
I mean, I guess I don't know her music well enough to give a yes or no on that one. I thought she was more of like an actress now. She's gonna do like the Wicked musical.
I like the song
up there?
"Break Up with Your Girlfriend on Board."
Is that Ariana?
Yeah.
I just don't know her music well, so she's good on SNL. I'll give her that.
What about Harry Styles?
In on Harry Styles.
Sabrina Carpenter.
Yes, in.
Little Joe Espresso?
Joe Espresso, of course. I don't know if she has the catalog yet, though. She's pretty young, I feel like. I don't know. I feel like you got to have some like known bangers.
Green Day was on yesterday.
They're doing a little pregame, hometown guys. A little pregame. I saw some of that. I was trying to watch Hideki Matsuyama not blow it, but he blew it. So.
Did you see Steve Urkel was in the...
Yeah, that was an odd commercial. It was Steve Urkel, so it was Jaleel White. It was Alfonso Ribeiro was in there. Yeah, that was kind of a throwback there. I'm trying to think of who else was in that commercial. But yeah, that was an interesting one.
This guy goes, "Hey, Toucher and Hardy, please replay the call of the lady with the great compelling story about meeting Vrabel at the return flight. Then ultimately goes kooky and pivots to demonic Bad Bunny."
Yeah, we should have seen that.
You think that will go on in the morning show tomorrow?
I think they probably have their own callers of
That's
that
true.
ilk.
Yeah. I did get a text with someone saying that call was great and then went bad.
Yes. L.A., is there any L.A. ties? Like sometimes they try and do that. I feel like they've kind of deserted that in recent years, though.
Like, is Metallica ever going to get it, or should I, just give up? Like, should I just give up?
You want like the Chili Peppers, Joe?
I know people wouldn't like it, but if they announced it, I'd go with it.
Like Tool? Aren't they from
LA?
LA?
God. Yeah, Tool can't. No, I love Tool.
Like, imagine that.
I just did. The halftime show's not long enough. They'd only be able to play 2 songs, dude.
You get the Dead out there for one song?
Well,
R.I.P.
Well, Cypress Hill, they're from there.
There you go, in on that.
Get a couple like Rock Superstar, Cypress Hill, Insane in the Membrane. Because you can only get a certain amount of songs, right?
A limited playlist there, yeah. I thought the set was crazy last night. Like, just the visuals and everything. It was very impressive.
So the Bad Bunny was, I think it was like the Puerto Rican Sugar Lands, Sugar Cane Lands or whatever. And dude, I know, I like his music. I don't know what he's saying, but I feel like there was some sort of messaging with all the flags and everything that he had.
Oh, it's all America. All
yeah,
of it.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I, he was wearing was wearing football pads and a jersey, but it was
He
like
had
a
good
suit.
ball security on Bad Bunny.
Very good.
He got more yards than the Patriots in the first half, that's for
There
sure.
was definitely more yards during the halftime show than the Patriots had. There's absolutely no doubt about that. The Eagles are from LA. Maybe because Don Henley, I think, was talking about something with the Eagles recently. I don't know why don't know why.
Oasis? They're back.
Oh, that would be big.
They're back, right? Get the Gallaghers together.
Dude, sad story. The singer from Three Doors Down passed away.
I saw that this weekend.
All right,
A young
so,
guy, too.
So sad. That's sad story. We play Kryptonite a lot because it's part of one of our beds.
I think it's a rejoiner, yeah.
So just listen. I know that a lot of those bands we talk about it. Creed, I loved. Three Doors Down was a very popular band. They had two really good albums that were out at that time. I know that real music people would never consider, Three Doors Down like a great band or anything like that. But it's a sad story. But I do think they put out bangers. Like when you think about like the Three Doors Down catalog, like Loser was a really good song. I'm just paying respects. Brad Arnold was the singer, and he passed away this week, which really sad. I'm sure if anybody saw the Kryptonite video or any Three Doors Down song, Three Doors Down was involved with like the Troops, right? They had a song. Why can't I remember it? But thinking of Three Doors Down like hits, they had a lot. That first album that they had was insane. I'm looking it up right now. Billboard 100s. Kryptonite was number 1. It's Not My Time was kind of a big one that they had. Let Me Go. They were out during that time of Divorce Dad Rock. They had some hits, big hits actually. They toured well. They were fine. Just kind of sad because they had some pretty big hits.
Super Bowl on Valentine's Day next year too, I believe. So get your plans in early, folks.
Well, I'll just say this. I know like a lot, and please, I hope businesses don't think I'm being disrespectful, but it's really hard to go out on Valentine's Day, right? Everything's packed. There's nowhere to sit. Everything's extra priced, or they have their
limited
own
menu
fixed
or whatever.
menu,
Yeah, fixed menu.
But it's a disaster. And dude, like if there's snow on the ground, where are you going to park? It just sounds like takeout food in NBA All-Star Weekend. I mean, what, guys? There you go, right? You guys got a big year. You're trying to save for a wedding, right? You guys, hey, honey, let's.
How about some ramen noodles?
What do you think about like a special ramen though? Maybe with Frank's Red Hot in there. Because you put it on anything, right?
I'll cut up some fresh cilantro for you.
And then we can watch Sam Hauser in the 3-point contest.
Oh yeah, woo.
Or Ron Harper Jr.
Name a guy in the dunk contest, Joe. Name a guy.
Well, actually, I don't know. But Ron Harper Jr.
No one does.
Ron Harper Jr. will be in the skills competition, though.
Joe, would you like to guess who's in the dunk contest this year?
Mac McClung.
No Mac McClung
What?
this year. Joe, you're a guy who watches basketball. I'm a guy who watches basketball. You could have given me 50 guesses of active NBA players. I would have went 0 for 50.
Give me a name. Give me like 2 names.
How about Carter Bryant?
No relation to Kobe, right?
No relation. How about Jace Richardson?
Okay, hang on. Carter Bryant? Jazz. Utah Jazz.
Carter Bryant is a San Antonio Spur.
Clear. Not really. West Coast.
Jace Richardson, son of Jason Richardson, I believe.
That guy, Carter Bryant, did not go to a college that we know of. Because I would have known of him. He has to be one of those guys that was like a G League guy who came out of like some far college.
I went to Arizona for 1 year.
No. But he played at Arizona?
Let me see.
No.
Started 5 games as a freshman.
Yeah, 5.
And then was taken 14th overall by the Spurs.
He played 5 games and was drafted 14th?
Played 37 games
in
his career, Arizona.
All right. I don't know who he is. They're on right now, right? Arizona? They're up 11
Darren
to 6.
Peterson is out. So
What?
this game lost all its steam. Flu-like symptoms.
I know people don't care about this right now, but the NBA's got about 15 kids. I mean, they have 10 legit, but I think they have like a real solid top 15. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with the NBA.
The NBA draft is loaded this year.
The poop story that I had, which I'm still, why did I lost my poop story? And I'm very upset about this. It's the second time that's happened to me tonight. All right. William Shatner, you know him, right?
Spock, right? Or not Spock.
Captain
one
Kirk?
of those
No,
guys, yeah.
What was it? I can't remember. No, Captain Kirk?
Sure. Before my time.
Yeah, I never liked it. William Shatner worried Super Bowl ad using his name for poop puns was a crappy idea.
Oof. Nice headline.
He stars in a new commercial campaign for Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Ooh, I can't say it. I can't do it. I don't think I can talk about this.
Oh, no.
It's because of the name. They wanted to call it something.
Not Shatner?
Kind of like Lift Shats.
The Shatner and Lift Shats crossover.
Why did I think this one out beforehand?
William Shatner.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
I got you, Joe.
Yes. All right, I gotta stop laughing. That's funny. Never mind. Go read the story. That's it. Let's take a break. There's your music. I'm laughing at myself right now. Well, take a break. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
I'm reading the chat. Which, again, you can go to youtube.com. We get big following tonight. People loved my Valentine's Day advice. You get a chance to watch players such as Carter Bryant.
Yes. Jace Richardson.
Sam Hauser in a 3-point competition.
Damian Lillard, maybe?
Oh, really?
With the torn Achilles?
He's still alive?
Yeah, I don't know.
He's still playing, I meant. And then Ron Harper Jr. in the skills competition. No Jaylen Brown this year, huh? Doesn't want to be a part of it. You know what? He should be in a free throw competition. Anyways, I won't do that to him tonight. People are saying 3 Doors Down was awesome. Duck and Run was a good song. This world can't turn me down, and I won't turn away. That was wicked butt rock. I liked 3 Doors Down, to believe it or not. That song Loser was cool. And then they had the song you played, Skaz, that I...
Here Without You, I believe?
Here without you, baby. But you're still on my lonely mind. What else did they have? They had another one that was like a real big one. It was about like the war or people going away to service. So hold me when I'm here, love me when I'm gone, hold me when I'm scared. I don't know if Dawson knows about CDs, but we used to put those in. Like, you know about them, dude?
I mean, I didn't have many CDs, but my dad will love this if he's listening. We used to have just binders of DVDs of 80s Celtics games that he would put on in the TV in the car for me to watch when I was a kid in the car seat. Those were my jam.
I love
those
that.
Were my jam.
Love that move.
Wait a second. Triple D is what we're. Your Triple D. Is your dad Triple D too?
No,
he's not. Triple D means that's all your initials.
Yes.
So wait a second. So would your dad be like, "Hey man, watch this game of Kevin McHale and the post moves that he had against Bill Laimbeer"?
Well, there was 2 things that would stop me from crying when I was a little kid. Basketball games and SpongeBob, so he would kind of fluctuate between the 2.
Oh.
I'm in on that rotation.
I like that rotation. 80.
We had like every playoff game.
And what is it?
Johnny Most.
I was going to say.
Seat.
And now there's a steal by Bird. That's so
That's
funny.
parenting right there.
Oh yeah. Shout him out.
What about your dog? You have a new dog, Skaz. Do you ever do anything to help the dog out?
What do you mean?
Do you ever notice dogs can watch television?
Yeah, my so the new dog we got, big 50 pounds, Joe. 5 months, 50 pounds. Took him to the vet today. He's going to be a big boy, but he likes to watch the birds. He'll sit in the window and just watch the birds, and if we something on TV with birds or something, he'll just sit on the couch and just watch the TV. He's a big old lazy fella.
But he likes birds.
Loves the birds.
Do you think it's because he wishes he could fly?
Probably. He's not the quickest, you know. The old dog still runs circles around him.
Is your dog a chow hound?
No.
Like hears like a rapper and freaks out?
Yes. Especially the puppy. Big time.
But like, why like dogs?
Some dogs have like a thing where like they would just keep eating until they die.
Yeah,
they don't have like a restrictor.
Yeah, I had a dog that would have killed me for food and then would have no one to feed it and be upset.
They're not long-term thinkers, those dogs.
No,
short-term.
I told you though, one time I put a pizza up on a counter and the dog barked outside. I went over to see what it was. They grabbed the pizza. I was pissed. They're smart, man.
They're quick.
Cats are more.
Yeah, we got one of those too.
Yeah. All right, what should we do here? Should we go to Jamaica Plain or Amesbury?
Let's go to JP.
Let's go JP. We got Mark. What's up, Mark?
Hey, what's up, kid?
How you doing?
Friggin', you ever been to Minos and Lynn?
Dude, have I ever been to Minos and Lynn? Come on, bro. I actually live like a mile down the road.
Friggin' awesome, kid.
Wait. Why is a kid from JP asking me about something in Lynn?
Well, no, I grew up in Lynn. I went to the high school, the junior high school, like around the corner.
Where in JP are you? I grew up in Hyde Park.
Yeah, I'm in Eggleston Square.
Eggleston, nice. You go to Ruggiero's and all that?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. All the spots. Oh, dude, I saw
friggin' Pedro and the big hitter.
Ortiz?
Yeah.
Frank Thomas?
Getting his haircut, like, in the hood, like, in, like,
the neighborhood.
People are, like, like, spotting out, like, making sure that everybody was, like, being cool.
Yeah.
And that was fine. But, yeah, so and me and my buddies were, like, watching the game, and, like, we watch the games all the time, and we're like, oh, damn, this is going not our way. Shit.
Oh, dummy up, man. You can't swear, dude.
I mean,
you knew it.
That was minus 800, Joe, from the second he picked up the call.
Told you, if they're from the area.
He was dropping. He was getting close.
We did get a West Roxbury guy that was good tonight, though.
1 for 200?
Louis!
You should have gone to Amesbury before that, goober. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Murray, first of all, I love listening to you, man, but you definitely should have gone to Amesbury. So, last time I saw you was up at the Brook. Looking forward to seeing you. When are you going to be up there again?
Good question. I think there's an event going on there soon that I'll be at, but I love Nine Dragons, and I'll be back, of course.
That a boy. All right. So before you hang up on me, let me just get a couple of things in here. First of all, well, wait a minute. You said something earlier about your Valentine's Day suggestion. What did I miss?
I said that it's not cool to go out on actual Valentine's Day because of fixed menus, overpriced foods, parking. And I said since the All-Star weekend is on Saturday, you're better off just getting takeout.
Just stay home and do the right thing for your girl, and that's a whole other story. But anyway, so now listen. There was another nitwit that called before that goober you just talked to that said Drake Maye isn't mentally tough. Let me just go back to the game, okay? I love McDaniel. I really do, right? So he's the offensive coordinator of the year. We got the coach of the year. I don't know what McDaniel was thinking about yesterday, boys. And listen, if we know that we have an offensive line that needs some help, you got to chip. You got to run screens. You got to do draws. You got to do sweeps. You got whatever. I don't know what McDaniels was thinking about. I can't blame Drake Maye, whether his his arm was busted, or I love his interview at the end of the game, by the way. But yeah, I listen. It wasn't Drake Maye, and I really feel bad for what's his name, the 66, the left tackle. I really do. Maybe they'll move him inside, as a guard, whatever. But listen, unexpected, incredible year this year for the Patriots. I don't feel bad today when they lost Super Bowls to the Giants. I couldn't even function. But you know what? I don't feel so bad today. I don't know.
Okay.
You?
Me? When's the last time you heard the word gooba?
You? Been a while.
Gooba. Goober.
I've heard Guma. Tony, a big fan of those.
Oh, remember he got hit in the head with a piece of sirloin?
You never want that to happen.
She took the beef.
What do you think? 16 ounce? What do you think that was, Joe?
Dude.
That's a big piece.
No, it's hilarious. She fired that thing.
It's a good throw.
See, Dawson knows what I'm talking about.
Drake Maye could have used that arm mobility.
She was
yesterday.
like, I've been cooking you a steak all day and you leaving me? Gloria. Oh,
Mercedes, right? She was the Mercedes dealer there?
She was,
Now watch out, Joe.
Oh, Gloria. Man. The worst thing Tony did
Well, Joe, there's a lot. I mean, be careful here. There's a lot of them.
When you go with the Russian with the leg.
Oh, they stole it. They stole her leg. That's not nice.
Who does that?
Who steals a leg? She got it back. Did Furio who gave it back to her?
Furio.
I think it was Furio, yeah.
Furio had to leave because, you know.
You're getting too comfortable.
He fell in love and just knew he couldn't do it. Imagine falling in love with the boss's wife.
No. I got a big reaction out of Dawson back here. He's
a
big Sopranos guy.
I almost said Santarpia.
Huge Sopranos guy. Greatest show of all time.
Who's your favorite character?
Ooh. I'd have to go Paulie.
Of course. It's got to be Paulie.
Yeah.
Got to be Paulie.
Silvio.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. You know? Well, was there a commercial about maybe this has popped into my algorithm. So, you know, like sometimes you don't know if you saw it or it's make believe.
You dreamt it?
I dreamt it. I don't know. But do you remember the scene where she's like, "Hey, Dad, are you in the mob?"
Yes.
And he's just like, "I work for waste management." And he's like, "Yeah, but I've seen, you know, people come in the house."
But she shows AJ the website.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was that a Super Bowl commercial, or was I dreaming?
I don't know. I might have been eating pigs in a blanket when that one happened, Joe. I don't know. I did not see a Sopranos commercial. I do see what's his name there, Bobby Baklava doing the dog food commercials.
Oh, Bobby Baklava's everywhere.
Yeah,
dude.
oh yeah.
He's making out pretty well.
I see.
Chris.
I see Moltisanti everywhere, every once in a while too. Silver Fox now.
Imperioli.
Yes.
They have a good podcast. They were talking about how Christopher never drove, and in the first episode, he's the one driving Tony. Did you see this, Dawson? You know.
Yeah, they're chasing the guy down.
Exactly. You know exactly the scene I'm talking about.
Of course.
And he said that he never wore hats either. But in that scene, he's driving and wearing a hat.
That's why it's the pilot, I guess.
So that's why I watched it, because I'm like, hey, this is interesting stuff. Maybe we should do some live. Maybe we should do some live Sopranos play-by-play.
I don't know if we get FCC might not like that, Joe.
What are we gonna do?
How many dumps do we have in a show?
How many have we used today?
2, I think.
2.
I'm at 1, maybe. Who knows?
Oh, it was a London broil, is what someone's telling me. It was a London broil, bro. Someone just wrote.
Yeah, our apologies.
All right, I guess there's a story that's come out recently, but let's Sarko!
My Joe, what's up? Joe, how you doing, brother? I'm all right, my friend. You know what I'm saying? What's up, guys?
Sarko, good to hear from you, man. How we doing?
Same here, brother. Same here. You listen, sorry, I know I'm a little backed up. We're way beyond like Happy New Year's and all that, but you know, I didn't get a chance to say
it's all good, bro.
Yeah. So that's what it is for all of you guys. You know what I'm saying? So look, you know that it was really disappointing last night, that game. But I just want to talk real quick, like this. You know, I haven't talked for a minute. So this whole Belichick thing, right? So you know, the whole first ballot Hall of Fame, he should have been right in first ballot Hall of Famer. But I'll be honest with you. Petty, you know, egotistical people, they're always, you know, make enemies and they just don't make friends. They have some friends. I don't like that type of people. But at the end of the day, what ends up happening? You know, he's doing the same thing for so many years that it got people so upset that at the end of the day, if he would have been in the same room, he would have did the same damn thing to somebody else. And I don't think anybody's talking about that, how petty he is. He would have did the same damn thing. But, you know, okay, so up to the game, this whole Warriors coming out to play thing, all cool and everything. You know, it's cool. Right? I watched the film when I was a kid and all that. But if you guys remember, like, Luther got beat up, right, at the end of the thing. He's the one claiming that, you know, Warriors come out and play. Actually, he got beaten up at the end of the movie. But, you know, you don't know if he died or not. But there was a video game, because I was playing video games at the time. 2005, it came out on the Warriors, right? And in the end of that video game, they actually gets beaten to death, okay? So you know what? And the whole thing about the whole Belichick thing, first ballot Hall of Famer, they should have just put that damn thing in the Carmine and Fenway and it would have spit out and say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. You get what I'm saying? Which is ridiculous, because he should have been in, but petty people do petty things. And he would have did the same damn thing back to anybody that he disliked. You get what I'm saying, brother? Yes or no? I don't know if anybody understands that or believes it, but I believe that. What is it?
I feel you, bro. You're right.
Yeah, well, you know what? And that's what happens. You know, and other than that, can I give a shout out to Luis? Is it Luis or Louis? Over there, sometimes I see him in the background. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's here. Yep, he crushes it.
Yeah, man, that's my man. That's my boy, man. Shout out to Louis.
You know him?
And Luis and Dawson, the new intern. Okay.
Yeah, Dawson, the new intern. Yeah, we call him Triple
I got
D.
To talk to him for a little bit.
We call him Triple D. He's got the initials of
Triple D.
Yeah.
Okay, you know, I've been listening as much as I can. Even like over a month ago, there was some of you. I love it. I was dying, I'm laughing. When you was doing the whole thing with the. Listen, I listen all the time, bro. I'm like, yeah, and you said it was an Aflac commercial. It was the Geico though.
Oh, it's Geico. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Geico, not Aflac, but it's all good, brother.
All right, Sarko. Hey, we got full shows all week, man. Besides Wednesday. So.
Well, that's what's up. Yeah, we're back on the full shows, and I'll be able to talk about the Celtics and all that stuff coming up because I have some some things on that. You know what I mean? Bro. Obviously, with everything going on, man. You guys be good.
Appreciate you, man.
God bless.
Take care.
And we'll talk. All right.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from Sarko.
Always.
Always. All right, let's. Well, we're a little late.
Nah.
All right, let's wrap this up here. What do you got? A headline? Okay, let's do that.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Jason Tatum.
interesting trade on a lot of levels. The Red Sox, of course, have been looking for a third baseman or another infielder the entire offseason after losing Alex Bregman. It appears that Caleb Durbin, the principal return in this trade, will be that guy. But they also acquired some other infielders, too. Andrew Monasterio, Anthony Sigler. Anthony Sigler had some moments for them last year, as did Monasterio. Durbin is a guy they acquired from the Yankees in the Devin Williams trade that they like an awful lot, or liked an awful lot. Still do, I'm sure.
All right, well, the Red Sox made a move, everybody. They acquired Caleb Durbin today. Third baseman. Sounds like he's going to be the answer at third. Now, I've sniffed around a little bit. Two things. You know, he's off surgery, arthroscopic surgery. So he's slated to play third, but he can play second. So what happens with Maye on that one? I can't confirm this, but I have had a source tell me that Romy Gonzalez has been dealing with a shoulder thing. So thumbs up, says Dawson. So I got that through the sniffer.
That was confirmed.
Oh, it was?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. I was sniffing around for a little bit. So it's confirmed then. Okay. I heard he had a shoulder injury. And this is why they're getting all these infielders. The Romy one hurts. He's a right-handed power hitter. Or he gives them home run ability. Durbin can be that guy. My only thing is, why is Milwaukee giving up a guy that finished third in the National League Rookie of the Year? Kyle Anderson in that trade as well, everybody. Part of the Rafael Devers trade. How's that working out? All right, everybody. Thank you for calling.